Live from the AM1310 WDPN studio, it's time for live and local sports talk. It's the Sam Bourquin Show.
I'm ready.
Give the show a call at 330-821-1310.
Good call, Meatball.
Watch the Sam Bourquin Show on the AM1310 Facebook page, the Q92 YouTube page, and on X. This is the Sam Bourquin Show on AM1310 WDPN.
Down the 1-2. Swung on, hit a ton. Deep left field. This ball gone. Angel Martinez has hit his second home run. His first right-handed. And he hit a missile. Bouncing ball in the hole. It gets through into right field. That'll score Ramirez. Here comes Hoskins. He'll score as well. And all the way to third base goes David Fry. The pitch. Swung at and driven to deep left. Away, back and gone. Brian Rocchio with a no doubt about it. 2-run blast to left. Third. That ball's hit well out toward right center field. On the run is Armstrong. It is number 2. A 2-run home run for Kyle Schwarber.
3-2. And it gets away. Here comes Caballero. And the Yankees walk it off. They win this one 11-10.
Nikishin. His first attempt cutting on in. Deep save with there. And the Flyers are going to the playoffs.
AM1310. Here we go. 1310 WDPN. It's the Sam Bourquin Show, ready to roll here on this Tuesday afternoon. Sam Bourquin here, Ryan Rainsberg on the other side of the glass. It is so good to have all of you with us today. We'll be with you until 6 p.m. If you hear a rumble of thunder, don't be worried. If you see a wild lightning show, don't be worried. If you start hearing, don't be worried. But all of it could be coming our way here in the next, could be the next hour, could be the next 4 or 5 hours. There is some wild weather going on this afternoon. And so just keep it right here, 1310 WDPN. If anything comes up, we'll be sure to pass it along to you. There's some wild stuff going on to the west, and it's kind of headed our way. So just kind of, keep your head on a swivel. Make sure you pay attention to the weather forecast and stuff, because it could be a happening day as far as the weather is concerned. But we'll keep you in touch. That's why live radio still works, and it's still a great way to get all your information. Big show coming up today. We're going to talk about the Guardians rolling over the St. Louis Cardinals last night. A little bit of power, right? Angel Martinez, Brian Rocchio. The NBA play-in tournament begins tonight with a couple of games. Now, the Cavaliers don't have to worry about any of this. They are all set to go Saturday, 1 o'clock at home against the Toronto Raptors. But there's a couple play-in games tonight, get a couple more coming up tomorrow, and then we'll know who's going to be in the big postseason for the NBA, seeds 1 through 8 in the East and the West. GlenOak Golden Eagles have found their new head basketball coach. Pending board approval is going to be Ryan McGonigal, former head coach at East Canton. So he will be taking over for the GlenOak Golden Eagle basketball program that coming out just a couple hours ago. If you missed that, it's up on our Q92 Sports page. 1310 WDPN on Facebook, and of course at Courtside Sam Lee on X if you want to go check that out. NFL Draft Countdown continues. We are 7, 8, 9 days away from the NFL Draft being held in Pittsburgh this year. Browns at 6-24 right now. They got a bundle of picks. Wonder what direction they're going to go. Will they even keep that pick? Will they trade back? Will there be a couple of other big moves coming? Let's see. Let's see how that all plays out. Got a mock I want to run down for you today, courtesy of ESPN. And we're also going to take a look at the top quarterbacks that are available. And I know it looks like, Fernando Mendoza is the runaway. But there's a couple other guys I want to talk to you about today. Sammy B's Best Bet coming up at 4:29 this afternoon on this day in sports history at 5:29. Our poll question of the day, which we'll get out there to you. Ben Axelrod is going to join us from Front Office Sports at 3:35 this afternoon. We got a lot of stuff to talk to Ben about. He'll be joining us again 3:35 today. And again, we'll keep our eyes on the weather for you as best we can. And if there's some crazy stuff breaks, we'll be sure to get that information along to you. Also, let's get that phone number out there, 330-821-1310. That's 330-821-1310. Text line is open, 330-924-7088. And, of course, the Q92 Radio YouTube channel is up. It is rolling. It is awaiting you in the chat room. And we've got open there. And we love to interact with you each and every day here on the Sam Bourquin Show. So kick that chat open, and let's get rolling with that today as well. Our poll question today, and we talked a little bit about this, not last week, but the week before, where we didn't get into it as much as I maybe wanted to back then. And we were talking about the rules changes in Major League Baseball. And we just were kind of talking about a couple of them, a handful of them that have come into play the last couple of years. And a lot of us, me included, kind of resistance to change a little bit as far as sports and rules that are implemented and changes that are made over the years. Some we like, some we don't. Some we just don't like because we don't like change. And, sometimes you got to put that aside and say, hey, if this is going to make things better, if it's going to make the game a little bit more enjoyable, if it's going to bring new eyes to the set, new ears to the radio, customers to the ballpark, then I think maybe it's, you got to kind of open your mind a little bit. And I was kind of put off by the Ghost Runner a couple of years ago, didn't really like it. Now I'm kind of okay with it. I never wanted technology to take over for the human element as far as balls and strikes called were concerned. And I'm still not all the way there, but I'm getting there. And I think because of the rapidness that they are able to figure out during a challenge, if it was a ball or a strike, I'm starting to come around. I'm 50-50, 60-40 saying, yeah, I like the ABS.
Well, and I don't think you have to get rid of the umpires to keep it either. You can have both.
Yeah, and that's the point I want to make. You've still got the human element there, and you have the ability to challenge a call or two if needed, and there are times where it is needed. But I love the fact that you tap your cap or your helmet, and within 5 seconds, we know. Like, they're showing us. If you're at the ballpark, they show it on the big Jumbotron. If you're at home, they put it on TV. And within 5 seconds of somebody tapping their hat, saying, I want to challenge, we know. The call's going to stand or it's overturned. And boom, we're right back at it again. Now, if this was a situation that took 35, 40, 45 seconds, a minute, I'd say get it out of here right now before I quit watching baseball. But the way they're doing it, I think they've hit a home run here, pardon the pun. And then I think about limiting the mound visits by a manager or a pitching coach. All those times, the stoppages in the game of the ball coach walking out to the mound, whether it's to talk to his pitcher, to check on him, to give him some advice, to rip him a new one, pat him on the back, or was it just to stall so the guys in the bullpen could get another 8 or 10 pitches in and get loose? That was getting monotonous. Pickoff moves to first base, putting a limit on that. There's another one. In the beginning, I thought, I don't know. It's kind of messing with the spirit of the game a little bit. The cat and mouse between the pitcher and the first baseman and the runner on first, and even the first base coach a little bit. But then I was like, maybe we need to kind of cut out some of the cat and mouse stuff. Let's get her moving, right? How you doing? Keep it moving. And so they put a limit on how many times you could throw to first base or pick off somebody. I like it. I've come around to it, and I like it. But the biggest one of all, the pitch clock. I am 100,000% in on the pitch clock. Never thought I would be. Here's old school me a couple years ago. Nope, don't want it. I don't want to see it. Don't do it. Now I'm like, I'm not so sure I could watch a baseball game without it. And the reason I say that is I am one of those who will go down the rabbit hole on YouTube, and I will watch games that have been played over the years. Maybe a game from 2 years ago, maybe a game from 1987, maybe a game from 96, maybe a game from 2004. And you know what? The pace of the game, I can't do it. I can't do it. The amount of time that the batters and pitchers took in between pitches was absolutely unbelievable. And if you don't believe me, go back. Just go YouTube a game. Go YouTube any game before the installment of the pitch clock. And you tell me if you don't sit there and you start getting a little hyper nervous and you start moving around and saying, oh my God, throw the ball. Because I've done it. I've gone back and watched numerous games. Some great games, some high drama games, World Series games, like that you're on the edge of your seat. But the amount of time it took between pitches, I'm like, my first thought was, how did I sit through this? How did I think that was okay? For the sake of argument, let's just pick a game. Let's just pick Reds Indians. 1990 whatever. 2000. And let's just say we're in the seventh inning. And it's a 2-2 tie. Bases are loaded. 2 outs. Indians are at the plate. Reds are in the field. First pitch outside, ball 1. Tick, tick, tick. Mop the brow. Kick the dirt. Batter steps out of the box. Adjusts his glove. Adjusts his helmet. Pitcher now decides to walk around the mound. Batter steps out. Spits on the dirt. Pitcher looks over to the first base side. Batter steps out, looks at the third base coach. Third base coach recycles through the signs. 4 or 5 different camera angle changes on the telecast. And now we're ready for the second pitch. And it happens all over again. And now we wait another 30, 35, 40, 45, 50 seconds. And then there's another pitch. You see where I'm going here? I don't know how I was able to sit through that. I couldn't do it now. Not after going back and watching those games now, as they have already been played, and now watching baseball how we watch baseball today. I don't know how I did it. I don't know how you did it. And for some of you, maybe it doesn't bother you that much or you don't care. Or some of you are like, yeah, man, that was pain. That was a painstaking process with all the downtime in between a pitch, not the downtime between an out that was made or the end of an inning or, somebody hits 3 or 4 foul balls and there's get the new baseball out there. The pitcher rubs it up. He steps off the mound. The batter. I don't know how we sat through those games like that. Games that are taking 2 hours and 38 minutes now, then took 3 hours and 15 minutes, 3 hours and 25 minutes. Same amount of innings, same amount of scoring, but the pitch clock has cut out a lot of the nonsense downtime that we used to have. And I'm all for it. And you know me, I am old school. I don't like change. I don't like to just roll with it right away. I like a little trial period to figure things out and see what's good, what's bad. I am all in now on the pitch clock. And I never thought I'd say this, but thank you, Commissioner Rob Manfred. I never thought I would utter that sentence out of my mouth, but thank you, Commissioner Rob Manfred. So our poll question today, what is the most significant baseball rules change in the last couple of years, in your opinion? What's the biggest rule change the last couple of years, in your opinion? Is it the ABS, automated ball strikes? Is it the pitch clock? Is it the cutting down on the mound visits, the pickoff attempts? Is it the ghost runner in extra innings? What is the biggest MLB rules change, the most significant one to you for the game of baseball over the last couple of years? Not only would I love you to take the quiz and drop your answers off on the Sam Bourquin Show page on Facebook on 1310 WDPN, the Q92 Radio YouTube channel in the chat, but I would love to hear from you, and we can have a little conversation about it. 330-821-1310. That's 330-821-1310. You can also text the show at 330-924-7088. I know a lot of you love baseball. I know you do. We all do. We listen to it. We watch it. We go to games. We're in different age demographics, I'm sure. I know there are folks that listen to this show that are in their late 20s and their 30s. I know there are folks on this show listening in their 70s. I know there are men. I know there are women. I know there are kids. Everybody's a baseball fan, just about. And we all love certain things about it, and there are some things maybe over the years we're like, not so sure about that. But I kind of want to tie that poll question into our discussion today about the sport of baseball and the changes that have been made by the Commissioner, Rob Manfred, who takes a lot of crap, and he should. Some of his things, But I'll tell you what, I think he's hit a couple home runs here over the last couple of years with the rule changes, the implementations of rules in the sport of baseball. So I kind of want to dig into that here a little bit this afternoon. In the meantime, let's take a break. We'll come back. We'll roll you right into the bottom of the hour on 1310 WDPN.
AWP Safety, North America's leading traffic safety company, wishes the best of luck to Stark County student athletes this fall, and they need you. Join AWP as a protector for steady work and an important job keeping people safe. They offer paid training, certification, referral bonuses, and advancement opportunities. To apply, visit jobs.awpsafety.com. That's jobs.awpsafety.com.
At Cleveland Clinic, every moment matters. So you unite as one to care for hearts like your very own. You push your minds to help heal theirs. And you forge new paths to help fight cancers. Because when defying the odds is what you do, the right care can change everything. For every care in the world, Cleveland Clinic.
Welcome back to the Sam Bourquin Show on this Tuesday afternoon. Oh, the skies are getting dark over here. It might even be raining over here. I'm not sure.
Yeah, Scooter has warned us. He says, heads up, Sam and Ryan. Big thunderstorm heading your way.
Yeah, it's coming. So we'll keep everybody in touch there with what's going on. Again, we have the news and the weather coming up here in less than 60 seconds. Our poll question today. Get your answers to us on all of our social media platforms. You can call. We'd love to hear from you as well at 330-821-1310. What's the most significant Major League Baseball rule change over the last couple of years? Would love to get your thoughts on that. Don't forget, Ben Axelrod from Front Office Sports is coming up here at 3:35. We'll talk a little Guardians with Ben. We'll talk Cavaliers. We'll talk NBA playoffs. We'll talk NFL draft. We'll wrap the Masters up for you. And we'll talk about the future, maybe, of the Cavaliers as far as where you can see their games on TV beginning next year. There's a lot of stuff going on. I also saw a little clip today that the NFL, old greedy pig Roger Goodell, now it sounds like they may want to take the Sunday Night Football package away from NBC and move it to Prime or Netflix permanently. So we got a lot to talk about. Ben Axelrod coming up here at 3:35. The news and the weather is coming up right now.
Now, the latest area news on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 3:30. President Trump said Monday the right people in Iran have reached out seeking to make a deal after talks failed over the weekend, insisting Tehran will never be allowed to obtain a nuclear weapon. Speaking outside the White House following the end of roughly 21 hours of Pakistan-mediated negotiations, the president said Tehran had re-engaged despite failing to reach an agreement. Trump said, "We've been called by the other side. They'd like to make a deal very badly." Trump made clear the talks collapsed over Iran's refusal to meet Washington's core demand that it abandon its nuclear ambitions and relinquish its enriched material. Trump also expressed confidence Tehran would ultimately concede. Iran's military leadership warned Monday no port of the Persian Gulf or Gulf of Oman would remain secure if the U.S. proceeds with a naval blockade targeting Iranian shipping. President Trump announced the Navy would begin blockading maritime traffic linked to Iran. He said U.S. forces would seek and interdict every vessel in international waters that has paid a toll to Iran and would prevent ships from entering or leaving the Strait of Hormuz. U.S. Central Command later clarified the blockade would apply specifically to vessels entering or exiting Iranian ports, not to broader commercial traffic moving through the straits. The Justice Department released a report today revealing how the Biden administration targeted pro-life activists with prosecutions, often at the behest of pro-abortion organizations. The nearly 900-page report constitutes a review of approximately 700,000 internal DOJ records showing the Biden administration weaponizing the Freedom of Access to Clinic Entrances Act through biased enforcement, harsher sentencing, aggressive arrest tactics, and collaborating with pro-abortion groups for surveillance. The FACE Act, quote, prohibits the use or threat of force and physical obstruction that injures, intimidates, or interferes with a person seeking to obtain or provide reproductive health services, or to exercise the First Amendment right of religious freedom at a place of religious worship. The act was written to equally protect abortion clinics, pro-life pregnancy resource centers, and churches. However, data indicate 97% of FACE Act cases have been against pro-life advocates. Pope Leo XIV arrived in Algeria yesterday, marking the first ever papal visit to the 99% Sunni Muslim nation. His 11-day African tour will also include Angola, Cameroon, and Equatorial Guinea, which have larger Catholic populations. The visit underscores the continent's growing importance to the church. Africa is Catholicism's fastest growing region, accounting for over half the 15.8 million people baptized into the church in 2023. About 1 in 5 Catholics now live on the continent. During his visit, the Pope is expected to address authoritarian rule, polygamy, and tensions with Islam, among other issues. En route to Algeria, the Pope reiterated calls for peace after President Trump said he caters to the radical left amid disagreements over the Iran war. 74 degrees at 3:33 for WDPN News. I'm Clint Marshall.
Now, the Alliance Area Weather Forecast from Mark Johnson on AM 1310 WDPN.
Partly sunny afternoon skies today. Very small chance for a thunder shower here and there. 79 warm degrees. Get outside. Overnight, scattered showers and storms moving in with a low of 64. I am Mark J. Weather from 3 News.
No sleep till!
Welcome back, everybody. The Sam Bourquin Show rolls on here in the windy Alliance, Ohio. Getting reports over in Perry Township. Crazy storm moved through, but it was in a hurry, and now the sun is coming out with our friends over in the west side. But it's coming down here. I imagine we'll have a pretty good storm for a little bit, then we'll get the sun. then maybe the humidity will climb back up again. Welcome back, everybody, to the Sam Bourquin Show right here on AM 1310 WDPN. Again, Ben Axelrod, Front Office Sports, due to join us here in just a couple of minutes. Got a lot of stuff I want to talk to Ben about here this afternoon. Phone lines are open, 330-821-1310, 330-821-1310. Poll question today. What, in your opinion, what is the most significant Major League Baseball rules change in the last couple of years? Which one has been like the big one for you? Has it been the pitch clock? Has it been the automatic ball strike, the ABS? Has it been the ghost runner in extra innings? Has it been the putting a cap on the mound visits or pickoff attempts at first base? To you, what has the most significant change been as far as rule changes in Major League Baseball over the last couple of years? I got to tip my cap to Rob Manfred. He's done a lot of dumb things, but some of these rules changes have been really, really good. Really, really good.
We got Bart checking in on Facebook in Tiger Town. He says rain's already gone in Northeast Massillon.
Wow, that must be a quick mover. It must be a quick mover.
That wind is whipping.
I wonder if we're going to get like a couple of these today. Like big storm, 15, 20 minutes, sunshine. And then like another hour goes by, boom, another big storm. And then I wonder if we're going to get like, that's going to be like what we're going to get today.
I don't know, but
I think tonight tonight's going to be a lot worse.
Yeah, I think overnight we get a lot of rain.
I mean, they've been kind of setting the table for us that, it might get a little crazy, especially later on. Hey, got to shout out our good friends at AWP Safety. Check out this hat right here I've got from our good friends at AWP Safety, proud sponsors of the Sam Bourquin Show, Monday through Friday, 3 until 6, right here on AM 1310 WDPN. And if you are looking to make a little change in your life, maybe somebody else's, maybe you know somebody that's looking for a new job, new gig, a new path in life, they want to do something and just break out of the shell a little bit. AWP Safety is hiring, and right now it is pretty much hiring season. And if you or know somebody that is looking for a new job to kind of spread their wings out a little bit, paid training, you get a chance to advance in the company, AWP Safety is where it's at, and that is jobs.awpsafety.com. Jobs.awpsafety.com. Just one of the things that they do, and they do a ton of things. You see their trucks all around. You see the AWP Safety logo. They're looking for flaggers right now. That's pretty good hourly wage, I got to tell you. Pretty good hourly wage. They're hiring flaggers right now. You can work concerts, sporting events, work with some road crews. That's just one of the great things that they offer at AWP Safety. So check them out and tell Drew and the crew we said hello here on the Sam Bourquin Show, 1310 WDPN. When I was, should I say growing up when I was little? Well, I guess little. And we would go to sporting events, or we'd go to a show, or we would go to a concert, and you always saw the guys flagging traffic. And they literally would have flags, or they would have flashlights, and they would just kind of wave them, go this way, turn left, go right, keep going straight. I was like, man, that looks like a cool job. That just looks fun. And all these years later, these decades later, and we're still going to games, right? We're still going to sporting events. We're going to concerts. We're going to shows. We're going to, or whatever big events. And guys and gals are out there helping you get into the parking lot, get out of the parking lot, keep you safe. Pretty cool thing right there. AWP Safety. Give them a little shout.
You'd definitely be surprised to know how much money you make doing that too. It's crazy.
Yeah, well, I know what they do over at AWP, and it's pretty good.
You think to yourself, Like what? I just have to stand there and wave some cones around. The flags, they can't pay that. No, they do.
Yeah. Because
they really do.
You got a lot of responsibility because you kind of all work in a chain. You can't be saying, come on. And the next guy going, no. You got to be in concert. So, those are vital jobs. And again, AWP safety is where it's at there. Any word from Ben? I'm starting to get nervous now.
Yeah, I have not seen him yet. I was checking my email to make sure he didn't reply to me and let me know anything.
I'm starting to get nervous.
He has the link.
Let me go back and look at our text chain that we had yesterday. Make me sure that I'm okay. Let's shoot for 3:35 today. Okay. I'm going to send him just a little.
The good news is this also happened to Keller. We had that Matt Tift interview last week that Matt mixed up the days on. So.
Oh yeah.
Yep, we were ready to go forward with him at 3:35 on Thursday, and he called Keller during the show, and I had to take a quick break so Keller could answer the call from the former NASCAR driver.
There you go. And
I was like, yeah, that's a good excuse to take a break.
All right.
When Matt Tift calls.
I just sent a little text to Ben, and we'll see if he replies, and we'll go from there. Right? You got to move. You got to move and groove here in this business.
For now, we have George on Facebook chiming in. He says the storm moved fairly quick, but was continuously heavy. That's what I was seeing outside.
Yeah, I think we're gonna get. Okay, Ben says sorry, I missed the link. Logging on now.
All right, cool.
Well,
I'm ready for him when he gets here.
I will give him the thumbs up. And we'll get ready to roll there. In the meantime, kind of set the table for you for the Guardians and the Cardinals tonight here quick. Cleveland last night, okay, all right, 9-3 winner. The Guards now 10-7 on the season. They're in first place in the Central Division. St. Louis bumped back to 500 now. They are 8-8. The Cardinals are now fourth place in the National League Central. Game 2 tonight, 7:45 p.m. The first pitch. We got Joey Cantillo against Michael McGreevy. That's tonight. Hey, we hit the over last night too, by the way. Sammy B's best bet over the 8.5. That baby flew over last night with that 9-3 score. All right, without any further ado, let's bring him in. Ben Axelrod from Front Office Sports, kind enough to spend some time with us here on this Tuesday afternoon on the Sam Bourquin Show, 1310 WDPN, and all across our social media platforms, including the Q92 Radio YouTube channel. Ben, good afternoon. How are we doing today?
Hey, I'm doing well. Thanks for having me, Sam.
Good, man. Hey, lots of stuff I want to talk to you about this afternoon. And I guess the first, we'll go with the Guardians since I was just kind of talking about them. We're 17 games in, 10-7. We've had some power some nights. Some nights we've had some really good pitching. But I'm telling you, Ben, I am concerned about Tanner Bybee. And I don't know if he is like a true ace at this point. I don't want to jump the gun here a little bit, but what are your thoughts there?
Yeah, no, I'm right with you. I think that is something. I know you and I talked a couple of weeks ago. I think just heading into the season opener is where does this roster stand? And I think that's one thing. You look at the pitching staff, and for so long we've been able to just count on the Guardians pitching staff being one of the best in baseball, and it doesn't really matter who they have in the rotation. They'll find a way to get those guys up to par. And I think that, these last 2 years, you've really seen that kind of drop off. It hasn't been as solid from a pitching standpoint. And I think to your point about Bybee, it kind of starts at the top. I don't think they do have that true ace. I think, Bybee, is he one of the 30 best starting pitchers in the league? By definition, does that make him an ace? Perhaps, but I think him and Gavin Williams are both kind of on this level where they're inconsistent ones, high-end twos, but it's not like, you're throwing Corey Kluber out there every 5 days, or Shane Bieber or Trevor Bauer when he was doing his thing. Like, Bybee and Williams are not on that level. Now, their quality starting pitching. And I think you see with Parker Messick and Joey Cantillo, like you're starting to see the formation of a strong rotation, but is it going to be that dominant rotation that we've become so accustomed to in Cleveland over the course of the last, really decade, 15 years? Probably not. I think the early results would say.
Yeah, the Guardians, again, 10-7 after their first 17, 2 with the Cardinals. Then they come home for the Orioles with 4 Thursday through Sunday up at Progressive Field. You mentioned Joey Cantillo, and he's a guy the last couple of years, Ben, he's just kind of been there if you needed him. He's made some spot starts. He was the guy you'd call up to throw a game 2 of a doubleheader, a fill-in guy, a bullpen game guy. I think I want to see more of him.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm just looking here. He has 3 starts. He has a 2.45 ERA. I know that's not the end all be all in baseball in 2026 here, but it's pretty good. On top of that, he's a lefty, so he gives you some versatility with what is otherwise a pretty righty dominant starting rotation. That's one thing Cleveland just hasn't had for whatever reason, even going back to those dominant rotations I talked about where Shane Bieber's your number 5 is they've never really had that consistent left-hander in the rotation, it seems like. And so to have him in the mix, to give teams a different look throughout the course of a series, I think it's really intriguing. And I agree. He was kind of that quadruple A guy these last couple of years where he was, in Columbus, but ready to be up here. He'd come up, he'd spend some time in the bullpen. And now it's starting to look like he has a pretty solidified place in this team's starting rotation. And that's exciting to see.
Yeah, I like him. I like his demeanor out there. He looks like a guy who's been there, done that, and obviously he's still kind of a young up-and-comer, but I like his demeanor out there. Ben Axelrod is our guest. Check him out at Front Office Sports on all of your favorite social media platforms. Angel Martinez, Ben, 12 for 37, 2 doubles and 2 home runs over his last 10 games. Obviously, that's a pretty good pace for him. I understand that he came into camp. He was kind of buffed out a little bit. He got bigger, a little faster, a little stronger. He looks like he's bringing the A+ game here early on.
Yeah, I mean, you saw that yesterday, obviously, with the first inning home run. He's a guy who, you look at this team, and obviously you look at Jose, you look at DeLauder, you look at they have these areas of the team that are pretty solidified. And I don't know what Angel Martinez is what his role is necessarily, but he has a role. He's a guy, he's really been able to play any of the infield spots and any of the outfield spots. They've always had a place for him. And I think, as a switch hitter too, and a guy who now is showing some of that power, he's going to have a place in the starting 9 more days than not. And so even as you look at some of the guys they could be calling up over the course of the season or the next couple of years, I just he wasn't one of those highly touted prospects who you were penciling in as having a spot, and here he is. Now this is I think his 3rd year really getting consistent playing time with the major league roster. And he came in bulked up. I think he's a guy who's probably going to be a streakier player. He might go on these hot streaks and then he might have some cold streaks, kind of an enigma in that sense, but yeah, definitely one of the early pleasant surprises here about 3 weeks in.
So 17 games in and not even to the quarter pole yet, but I kind of want to just get your overall feel on this team right now and where they are top to bottom. I think Stephen Vogt's doing a very nice job. I think their schedule was a little front heavy. I mean, you had the Cubs, you had the Dodgers, you had the Mariners. I think they came through that okay. What are your early thoughts overall on this club?
It's a really intriguing club. They're 10-7 here. It's a very exciting team. They have I think entering this season, the big question was, how are the younger guys going to perform? And I think you just look at Chase DeLauder, and I think that. Sorry, I have some breaking news going on here. I guess Diana Rossini just resigned from the Athletics. So,
oh my gosh.
Yeah,
okay.
I might have to hop off here. I'm sorry about that.
You're fine. Just let us know.
Yeah, sorry about that. I got to run.
Okay, Benny. All right, we'll catch up a little bit maybe later on this week or maybe next week. Ben Axelrod from Front Office Sports. Diane, well, there you go. Talk about breaking news. Diane Rossini has resigned from The Athletic.
Is she the one from that scandal recently?
Yep, the one with Mike Vrabel.
Mike Vrabel.
Yes. Not surprised, but you kind of just didn't know when that shoe was going to drop.
I'm kind of surprised. I thought that happened already.
I was watching Ben. Now, give everybody a little behind the scenes here. My feed, which I catch off of my phone in the studio here, I am about 25 to 30 seconds behind what's going on over the air. But I'm watching Ben, and I'm thinking, there's something going on. Like, I could just tell. And I didn't know. I didn't know there was about to be breaking news there. But I said, in my mind, I'm going, something's going on. He's got his focus on something that's happening maybe as we speak. And turned out to be right. As soon as he said, I think I got some breaking news, I thought, okay, I kind of thought so. I just didn't know what it was. So we'll try to get Ben back on. I wanted to talk to him about the Cavs. I want to talk to him about the draft, about the future of Cavaliers television, because the FanDuel is gone. You saw guys like Jim Jones hanging it up on the radio side, Austin Carr on the TV side. So there's a lot of changes. I wanted to get to that, but obviously breaking news in Ben's world comes before. So he had to run, and I'm sure he'll be posting some stuff shortly here up on his platform of Front Office Sports. Now, I was gone last week. Did you guys talk at all about the Diana Rossini?
No,
Mike Vrabel?
I think that didn't that happen like Friday?
I don't remember.
I think that all came out like Friday evening or something, because we did not talk about that.
Because that's quick. I'm not sure when it started to break, but here it's only Tuesday. And I
think I
shut it down.
I think I first heard about that on Saturday or Sunday, I want to say. And yeah.
Wow. That's one of those topics. And I've noticed this over the years doing what I do. You want to be very careful, because that is, although they are both very public figures, Mike Vrabel, very public figure, as a head coach of the National Football League. Of course, Mike played his high school football at Walsh Jesuit. And, great college player. And he's out there, right? You know who Mike Vrabel is. And you know who Diana Rossini is. She's been covering sports, covering the NFL. And you got to be careful now, because these are, even though they are very high profile people, it's also a matter of personal business. Not business, but it's their personal lives. Now, look, Diana Rossini's married. Mike Vrabel's married, okay? Of course, that's what made this a big story. But you got to be careful on how you approach a story like that, especially since you don't know everything. Like, what do we know? I mean, we know what was on. We know what was on in the photos that were taken, and from what I understand, it was a private investigator that was hired to do that.
Oh, that makes sense.
And we know where it was. It was 2 hours away from Phoenix, Arizona, out in an adult resort. Okay. And we know a little bit of he said, she said, but other than that, we don't know everything.
Yeah, even
but
with her resigning.
The more stuff that was coming out, and then you hear that they were kind of really getting kind of cozy at the NFL Combine in Indianapolis a couple of months ago. Maybe there was something to it then. But breaking news delivered right here on the show today. I mean, boom, Diana Rossini stepping away from her role with the Athletic and covering the NFL. That's wild, man. Now I don't know how this is all going to play out. I don't know what the comeuppance is going to be. Certainly, they have to deal with that in their personal lives with their significant others at home. And again, you got to kind of tread lightly on that stuff because everybody makes mistakes, everybody does things, and but yeah, that was a pretty high profile story the last couple of days, and boy, oh boy, did it.
Just got a little more high profile.
It came to an abrupt finish today. I'm sure there'll be much more on this coming up throughout the afternoon and the evening. Matter of fact, during this break coming up, I'm going to get right to Front Office Sports, see if Ben's got something up there as far as that big story is concerned. Okay, well, hey, you never know in this business what you're going to get. You never know. You sign up for an interview, you get a little breaking news, and the interview ends. But hey, that's the way it goes. All right, we'll take a break. 3:55 here on the Sam Bourquin Show. Phones are open. Let's go. 330-821-1310. We'll be right back.
Of all the ways to get ahead in life, we're one of them. And we're legal. The John Tesh Radio Show.
I'm John Tesh, and we couldn't be happier about bringing you intelligence for your life every day. We have a room full of researchers gathering the information and ideas you need to make your life simpler and better, and to make you the smartest person in the room.
You're just trying to be better. We're just trying to help. The John Tesh Radio Show.
Join me for music and intelligence for your life, 10 to 3, Monday through Saturday, only on AM 1310 WDPN.
It's intelligence for your life.
Do you have trouble getting in and out of the bathtub? Are you afraid you'll slip and fall entering or exiting a tub? Safe Step walk-in tubs can transform your bathtub from an area of concern to a calming refuge. Call them today at 1-800-498-2098 and save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs and showers are proudly made in Tennessee and offer an ultra-low step-in, avoiding that difficult climb over a traditional bathtub wall. They also offer a variety of therapeutic benefits that may help soothe your aching muscles and joints, increasing your mobility, boosting your energy, and improving your sleep. Safe Step walk-in tubs are designed to easily fit your existing tub space and are often installed in as little as one day. Just dial 1-800-498-2098 today to save $1,600 and receive a free shower package. That's 1-800-498-2098 for a free no-obligation consultation and to save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs. Safety never felt so good.
For many of our brave service members, the battle never ends. American Humane Society is dedicated to supporting our heroes, both human and canine. Through their Pups for Patriots program, specially trained service dogs are provided to military veterans or retired first responders at no cost. American Humane Society also reunites retired military working dogs with their handlers, heroes who served on the front line. American Humane Society is there ensuring that no hero is left behind. Donate today at AmericanHumane.org.
All right, we got to get right to the phones here. 330-821-1310. We got about two and a half minutes here. Real quick, Diana Rossini has resigned from her New York Times Athletic NFL reporting job just about 15 minutes ago. Michael is on the line. Welcome, show, Michael, 1310 WDPN. What's up?
Hello, Sammy. It's Creepy Mike.
Creepy, what's up, buddy?
You got me.
What?
I got him.
You got him. You got him.
Dude was doing a voice and everything.
Affairs of the heart.
What's that?
I got to tell you, you had to talk to Creepy Mike with this topic.
Yeah, well, how apropos for you to dial in.
When it comes to the baseball, I love the pitch clock.
Okay. Me too.
It's another aspect of the game. My son played baseball when he was younger. A friend of yours coached him. And my son would step to the plate, do the sign of the cross on the plate, outline the plate, adjust his gloves, mess with his pants. And then your friend would just look at me like, are you kidding me? What is he doing? It would take a minute between pitches. And it just, that kind of time wasting, not just the pitcher, but the batter leaving the box.
Oh, my God, Mike, it would just, it would go on forever.
Oh, my God. So they started calling him Grover.
Right.
Because he did the same thing. It was so annoying, but just having that taken out of the game, if they would have done nothing else, that would have been perfect. But every couple of years they add something, and they've yet to misstep. I like all the changes baseball is making.
Yeah, I never thought I would, Mike. I thought, maybe I might like one, and I didn't want, I just don't want technology to overrun the human element of the sport like baseball. But I got to tell you, just about everything, these last couple of rule changes, the last couple of years, I think they're perfect. And it hasn't turned the game into a speed sideshow. I mean, we're still getting 2 hours and 40 minutes of good baseball. And I think the changes have worked out really well.
I like the changes they're making at Progressive. They're keeping up with the times, just everything baseball is doing. And I'm not a fan of the Savannah Banana type stuff. That's just like a show. That's not really sports. So I don't like going that far, but what baseball is doing, perfect. Can't complain about any of it.
Yeah, you got it. Creepy Mike, always a pleasure to hear from you, and keep your hands on the wheel and the eyes on the road.
I'm heading south. Have a good one, Sammy.
There he goes. Creepy Mike checking in here on 1310 WDPN. We got the news, the latest on the weather, much, much more coming up here on the Sam Bourquin Show. Right here, 1310 WDPN.
An important part of the Alliance community since 1953. You're listening to AM 1310 WDPN Alliance.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. The resignations of Democratic Congressman Eric Swalwell and Texas Republican Congressman Tony Gonzalez are now official. Swalwell facing allegations of sexual misconduct that he denies. ABC's Jay O'Brien has more on the departures.
The clerk of the House did the final action necessary to officially accept the resignations of Eric Swalwell and Republican Congressman Tony Gonzalez of Texas, who was the subject of an ethics committee investigation after he admitted to having an affair with a woman who was at that time his subordinate, a staffer in his office, which is a violation of the rules of the House. The clerk read both resignation letters on the floor.
Another round of talks between the U.S. and Iran could take place within the next week to end the war. The U.S. naval blockade, meantime, remains in place at the Strait of Hormuz. Pope Leo continuing his papal visit across Africa. The Vatican says it's moving on from President Trump's criticism of the Pope after he spoke out against the war. This is ABC News.
Workdays can be unpredictable, but your workwear shouldn't be. With the Cintas Apparel Plus program, you'll have freshly laundered garments for everyone on your team delivered every week. Cintas has workwear for just about any job imaginable, with high-performance fabrics and an uncompromising fit that stretches and moves with you. Don't leave looking and feeling good to chance. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver Card. So let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver Card is at table 27, and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, Chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver Card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Now, the latest Alliance area news from Clint Marshall on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 4:02. Stark County Grand Jury has indicted a third person in connection with the death of a Canton woman. 66-year-old Randall Talmadge turned himself in Monday and was booked into the county jail on charges including involuntary manslaughter and failure to provide for a functionally impaired person. Investigators say 71-year-old Lola Streetman was found dead in May of 2021, with medics reporting signs of possible neglect. Sierra Talmadge and Phyllis Green have also been charged and have pleaded not guilty. Man who allegedly made a pipe bomb in Tuscarawas Township faces a possible indictment. Case of 56-year-old Timothy Henthorne of North Lawrence was bound to the Stark County Grand Jury Monday after a pretrial hearing in Massillon Municipal Court. He's charged with illegal manufacture of explosives, inducing panic, and OVI. Case stems from an April 2nd incident in the 14,000 block of Lincoln Way West. Highway Patrol found Henthorne inside a vehicle, allegedly waving a sword. A search turned up an explosive device, which led to a bomb squad response and 2 nearby home evacuations. No one was injured. The device was removed for safe disposal. Alliance police say a woman accidentally drove her vehicle into a medical office Monday morning. The fire department says it happened just before 7:45 at 1207 West State Street when the car crashed into a Cleveland Clinic-affiliated physician's office and ended up in an exam room. It appeared the 76-year-old driver mistook the accelerator for the brake. Officials say the driver, who was the only occupant, was able to exit the vehicle on her own and was checked at the scene for minor injuries. Massillon police investigating a deadly crash this morning. Officers called around 6:30 to Finnefrock Road Southwest, just west of Erie Street. The Stark County Coroner's Office says 19-year-old Trenton Campbell of Massillon was killed. Cause of death was not available. Details of what caused the crash have not been released. Social media posts show a vehicle on fire on the bridge over Route 21. After complaints from nearby residents about activity and loitering, Canton City Council has unanimously approved annexing the former Edgefield School site in Plain Township. The nearly 3-acre property at 2100 38th Street Northwest is now part of the city and zoned for residential use. Canton Police and Fire will now handle calls to property. Officials say housing options will be explored, but no plans have been made. Louisville Board of Education approved personnel changes for dozens of staff members during its Monday meeting. Resignations, retirements, new hires, transfers, and athletic contracts were approved for 59 employees. The board heard public concerns over preschool enrollment and planned classroom reductions next year and accepted more than $3,000 in donations. Lake Township trustees Monday signed a lease with the North Canton Soccer Club for future field development and community facilities at township property on Midway Street and accepted a $5,000 NRA grant for 20 red dot sites for the police department. Trustees also approved participation in state workers' compensation and rock salt purchasing programs and the $10,500 purchase of a 12-foot hook lift dump body from Fallsway Equipment for the road department. More than $1.3 million in expenses were also approved, mostly for fire, insurance, and health care. Spring cleanup scheduled for June 3rd through the 6th. A potential data center project in Massillon is prompting city leaders to shorten a development moratorium. City Council voted 8-0 Monday to reduce the moratorium from 180 days to 60 after learning a developer is interested in the Massillon Technology and Energy Park, the former Republic Steel site. Officials say the shorter timeline will still allow for updates to zoning rules without delaying possible projects. No permits for data center development will be issued during the 60-day period. Growing number of Portage County communities are moving to restrict or pause data center development amid concerns over water use, energy demand, and tax impacts. In Ravenna, City Council's Planning Committee advanced a 12-month citywide moratorium after a large public turnout at a Friday meeting. According to the Record Courier, officials say the pause would give the city time to develop regulations. Similar moratoriums are considered or extended in Shalersville and Talmadge. Sebring Village Council made changes to its public records policy Monday. The new policy includes fees of up to $75 an hour for police body camera and cruiser video requests. Council also held first readings on proposed rules for storage and shipping containers. Officials say water meter replacements are about 1/3 complete, and police received 3 active shooter response vests through a donation. Council will switch to once-a-month meetings for the summer. Legal dispute over trial evidence at the center of a wrongful death lawsuit against the city of Youngstown. The city says it should be allowed to present expert witnesses and continue discovery. Plaintiff argues the option should be blocked due to missed deadlines. Case stems from a June 2017 incident when a falling tree on city-owned property on Oak Street Extension struck motorcyclist Thomas Morar of Youngstown, who died in 2019. 75 degrees at 4:07. This is the local edition of WDPN News. I'm Clint Marshall.
Here's Mark Johnson's forecast on AM 1310 WDPN.
A cloud sun mix through your Tuesday afternoon, maybe an isolated thunder shower in 1 or 2 spots. It's going to be warm and blustery, 79 degrees. Overnight, some scattered rain and thunderstorms moving in with lows about 64. I am Mark J. Weather from 3 News.
Live from the AM 1310 WDPN studio, it's time for live and local sports talk. It's the Sam Bourquin Show.
I'm ready.
Give the show a call at 330-821-1310.
Good call, meatball.
Watch the Sam Bourquin Show on the AM 1310 Facebook page, the Q92 YouTube page, and on X. This is the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
Down the 1-2. Swung on, hit a ton. Deep left field. This ball gone. Angel Martinez has hit his second home run. His first right-handed. And he hit a missile. Bouncing ball in the hole. It gets through into right field. That'll score Ramirez. Here comes Hoskins. He'll score as well. And all the way to third base goes David Fry. The pitch. Swung in and driven to deep left. Away, back, and gone. Brian Rocchio with a no doubt about it. 2-run blast to left. Third. That ball's hit well out toward right center field. On the run is Armstrong. It is number 2. A 2-run home run for Kyle Schwarber.
3-2. And it gets away. Here comes Caballero. And the Yankees walk it off. They win this one 11-10.
Nikishin. His first attempt cutting on in. Deep save with her. And the Flyers are going to the playoffs.
Hey, little NHL there at the end. Cool to see the Philadelphia Flyers back in the playoffs. Boy, I was like shocked when I saw that highlight. I said, oh, wow, they haven't been in the playoffs for that. Oh, okay, that's good. Cool little story for them. What they used to call them, the Broad Street Bullies back in the day, I think, the Philadelphia Flyers. Welcome back to the Sam Bourquin Show, AM1310 WDPN. Phone lines are open, 330-821-1310, 330-821-1310. Of course, the Q92 Radio YouTube channel is rolling. We got the chat room going. Lots of great comments coming in. We will catch you back up on those comments in the chat room here in a minute or so. If you, it was kind of cool. It's just kind of like the way this business is. We had Ben Axelrod on the show today from Front Office Sports. I had a 6-7 topics lined up. We were ready to go. We got through the Guardians, and I was about to transition into the Cavs. And I'm watching Ben on the camera, and I'm not saying anything about it, but I'm saying to myself, something's off here. Something's going on, but I didn't know what. And Ben finished up his last answer, and we were kind of going into my next question. He's like, I got breaking news. And at that point, I'm like, well, might as well break it while you're on the show. And we find out that Diana Rossini had resigned from her post with The Athletic because of the photos that have been released with her and Mike Vrabel. And it's been a pretty big national story the last 3 or 4 days. Rainsburg, do you hear that in the background? Was that a weather warning coming? You hear that? Or is that just on the FM? I can hear that.
I think that's on the FM. I don't hear that.
That's interesting. It would be there and not here.
That means we're just a little bit behind.
So it's coming.
Maybe.
Okay. There. You know what? My hearing is so bad, but how was I able to hear that?
Yeah, I heard it when I didn't hear it till you pointed it out.
Yeah. So I could hear the National Weather Service warning noise all the way in the other studio.
Well, we know J-Dub keeps that volume cranked up in there.
He must be as deaf as me. So there could be some weather warnings coming here. So be ready for that. So where was I? So we were talking about, so you might as well break the news here. And then I kind of had to let him go because that's his, guys and gals that are in the social media space, and they've got their own company or their own business or their website or their platform. That's their bread and butter. That's their dinner. So I had to let Ben go so he could go handle that. And just got a nice note from him. He apologized about having to go, and he'll come back on as soon as he can, whenever we request. So we're all set there. But crazy stuff going there for over about a 3-minute period. I'm like, what is going on? Something is going on. And then boom, there was the breaking news.
Hall of Fame City on YouTube checking in. He says 2026 things. A sports reporter having to do breaking news on another sports reporter.
Right. Oh my gosh. I got a feeling there's going to be a lot more coming out about that story. And again, high profile, but it's also people that with personal lives and stuff going on. So you kind of just gotta tread lightly there. But
got a question for you on Facebook from another Ryan Kirby checking in. He says, is Perry baseball still playing versus Lake Perry Panthers baseball?
I'm not, like, were they scheduled to play today? Is he asking because of the weather?
I think so, maybe.
Okay.
Unless there's any other reason that they wouldn't be playing each other.
Well, I know Federal League baseball games usually start at 5:00.
Oof.
So, and I know Perry is grass. It's no artificial turf there. Now, I don't know where the game's being played. Well, Lake's the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
So they're both natural grass fields. So I don't know. I would assume until I find out that they have canceled the game that they won't play. I would not be surprised if there was a delay. Of course, we were hearing from Doug over in Perry that the storm was coming down, like the rain was coming down like crazy. And if you get enough of even a quick storm like they had, that could ruin a baseball field. Like, it can make it unplayable. So any of our friends over at Perry or Lake, if you know whether the Panthers and the Blue Streaks are still playing baseball today, let us know so we can keep everybody up to date out there in the radio world and all over social media. Let's see here. What else is going on the chat?
Scooter checked
seeing
in.
some stuff that some of the comments are running a little long, and so they're kind of they're going from screen to screen, and I can't make out what they are. So go ahead and jump in there if you want.
Let's see. Scooter says, I'm reading a post from local police about a game high school seniors are playing with water guns after school hours called Senior Assassins. He's wondering if we've heard of this. I have not.
I have not either.
Okay, cool.
I have not either. Anybody know of that?
I will say, sounds pretty lame.
So it's a game high school seniors are playing with water guns.
Yes.
After school hours, so they're calling it Senior Assassins.
I'm assuming two things here.
Be careful.
One, they are probably shooting the freshmen with squirt guns, because that would make sense. Hopefully. I mean, that seems to be the logical conclusion here. And two, they're probably using squirt guns that look like real guns if he's reading a post from the police about it.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know anything about that. Again, if we hear anything, kids.
Purple Suit, he says, high school kids have never been more lame.
Senior Assassins with water guns. Holy smokes.
Okay. Hall of Fame City says it's the last one who gets squirted wins. It's a senior class thing.
So it's not that big of a deal.
No, it's not that big.
Okay.
I'm not sure why.
Kids being kids.
He said he saw Hall of Fame City, saw it on TikTok.
Of course it was on TikTok.
Who would have thought?
Now I got to go home and I got to check my son's room for a water gun.
They don't do anything without posting it on TikTok, even if it's a crime.
Unbelievable. Let's see here. Hey, how about this? See, this is what I love about our listeners out there. Lake Perry Junior Varsity and Varsity Baseball has been moved to Thursday at 5 p.m. So that game was washed out today because of the rain. All right. There you go.
Nobody's surprised about that.
Ask
that rain
and you shall receive. Now, here's the other thing. And this comes to when you've got, let's just say the Federal League. You've got league games. Okay, so Perry and Lake, it's natural grass field. Hoover has turf. Munson has turf. Jackson has turf. I don't know about Green. So some of these games are going to be able to be played today, and some of them aren't. If you got the turf, you're probably going to be able to play because, I mean.
No, the rain doesn't just turn the dirt to mud.
No, when you get like the artificial turf.
Oh, okay.
It's not real. It's not real grass, so it's mostly just a turf field. There is no dirt at all.
No,
so those teams will be able to play, unless you get crazy storms coming up, which we might, but you kind of wonder how that's going to affect teams and pitching rotations and, stuff like that.
I think it'd be pretty awesome sliding into first in a big rainstorm. It's like a, what do you call it? Slip and slide.
Slip and slide.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I've seen in Major League Baseball rain delays every once in a while, somebody on the team would go out and during the storm would run the bases and do belly flops and slide into the bases and just put on a whole big show. And for the fans that stuck around, during these massive downpours, which I always wondered what was going on inside the noggin there, with lightning flashing and torrential downpours and winds howling, people were sitting there in the stadium. And so the player says, well, you thought enough to come out here and stay. Well, I'll go on and I'll put a show on for you. So that's what there's a couple of really good ones out there. And I'm trying to think of the one player who may have been the first one to do it. And I knew as soon as I brought this up, I was not going to be able to remember the name of the player or the team that he played on. But it was pretty good stuff. And did a whole routine right in the middle of a storm. Just went out and put on a show and got a great round of applause. And of course, it made all the highlight shows. It was on This Week in Baseball, and it was. Now a couple of guys have tried to emulate that over the years, but nobody did it as good as the first player. Now, doggone it, I can't remember it. I'll try to look that up here.
I'm working on it
during the break.
I'm gonna try to figure it out.
Yeah, I would just type in Major League Baseball rain delay player.
Does
sliding.
Tanner Murray ring a bell?
Tanner Murray, no.
No, that's to hit a home run after a rain delay. That's just what I thought I was trying to ask it.
Yeah, but I remember this player, and it was a gully washer. The rain was coming down so hard, and back then a lot of these fields they couldn't hold the water, so the player would just go out there and slide and dive, and these crazy waves of water would come up from the ground. The kids, even the adults, they just loved it. 22 minutes past the hour. We're going to step away, take a break. Phones open 330-821-1310. We'll get back into our Sam Bourquin Show poll question of the day. Breaking news today, Diana Rossini has resigned her position from the Athletic. We'll talk about the NBA play-in tournament. We'll take a quick peek back at the guards and the Cardinals from last night. We got a quick little interview with Stephen Vogt, and we got a lot more coming your way here. Stick with us. 1310 WDPN.
What does it mean to live here, serve here in the Ohio Army National Guard?
It means I can attend college full-time and not have to take out student loans to pay for my tuition.
It means I can work my civilian job during the week and support my state and nation in times of need.
You too can live here, serve here as a member of the Ohio Army National Guard. Learn more about part-time service with full-time benefits at nationalguard.com/OH. Sponsored by the Ohio Army National Guard in coordination with the Ohio Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Teachers are dynamic leaders, shaping a new generation. They bring a variety of perspectives from diverse backgrounds, innovating how they teach to prepare students for our fast-changing world. Achieving this takes skill and expertise. They're tireless explorers, creatively discovering a universe of solutions, telling stories, experimenting, inspiring, mentoring, connecting cultures, and connecting with each other. Leading by example. Experience the unique joy of helping students thrive. Teaching is a journey that shapes lives. Are you ready to begin? Explore teaching at teach.org, a campaign supported by the U.S. Department of Education, teach.org, and 1 million teachers of color.
The impact of a meal goes well beyond feeding our bodies, because when people don't have to worry about where their next meal is coming from, they can truly thrive, like Marta.
And now we'll hear from our class valedictorian, who with our hard work never ceases to amaze us. Please welcome Marta Moreno.
and Alex.
Hey, Alex, how did the interview go?
I did it. I got the job. I can't believe it.
I knew it. Let's meet up later to celebrate.
And Diego.
Mom, I got first place at the science fair with my volcano project.
That's amazing, sweetie. Congratulations.
Because when people are fed, futures are nourished, and everyone deserves to live a full life. Join the movement to end hunger at feedingamerica.org/actnow. feedingamerica.org/actnow. A public service announcement brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
All 7 and we'll watch them fall.
1310 WDPN. Welcome back to the Sam Bourquin Show. I have found the answer to my question. It was Rick Dempsey of the Baltimore Orioles. It's titled Rain Delay Theater. He went out during a rain delay at Fenway Park, and he put on a show for the ages. He played the roles of the pitcher, the batter, the runner, and he did it all during a downpour. And both teams are on the top step of the dugout, urging him on, clapping, laughing. The fans are enjoying it. It was back in 1977, for God's sake. I didn't know it was that long ago. Rick Dempsey used to be the catcher for the Orioles, kind of a character. I think he played a year with the Indians, if I'm not mistaken. And he played for some other teams as well. But, yeah, just if you want to watch that, it's on YouTube, Rick Dempsey, Rain Delay Theater, and it's pretty good. It's pretty good stuff. I can't give it the justice, but it's really, really good, especially the slide at the end. At the end of his performance, it's really good. I'm watching a little bit of it now. It's pretty good stuff. 330-821-1310 is our number. You can get in line, the chat, and the Q92 Radio YouTube channel. Sammy, best rain delay ever. I got the chat and BS with Asdrubal Cabrera for about 5 minutes. Then supervised him sign about 50 autographs. He would point to a kid. I would grab whatever I had, hand it to him. I think I get the gist of that. But Asdrubal Cabrera. Oh, man. He was a good ball player. They used to call him Cabby. That was his nickname, Cabby. That was a pretty cool nickname back then. Back to our poll question today, baseball related. And my question to you today is, what is the most significant Major League Baseball rule change in the last couple of years? Well, real quick, tonight's JV baseball game for West Branch has been postponed. Just want to throw that out there, too. And again, Perry Lake, they have been postponed until Thursday at 5 p.m. high school baseball. There's been some tweaking of the sport. There's been some tweaking of the rules. And Rob Manfred, commissioner, has taken a lot of heat, and I think justifiably so, for some of the stuff and quirky ideas he's talked about. But I think here the last couple of years, I think he's done a pretty good job at implementing some of these rules changes. And my question to you is, in your opinion, what do you think the most significant rule change has been the last couple of years? Is it the ABS, automated ball strike system? Is it the pitch clock? Is it the ghost runner put on second base when extra innings begin? Is it the limiting the number of times somebody can go out to the mound, limiting the amount of times a pitcher can throw over to first? Those are like the big ones. But which one to you is the most significant?
Dong Bobbler says ABS is sweet, but the pitch clock is number one.
Yeah, that's the vibe that I'm getting. It's like 1A and 1B. But I think the pitch clock is taking it. But who knows? With the ABS, this has been the first year they've used it in Major League Baseball for the whole year. And I'm thinking maybe after another 2 or 3 years, maybe that may end up being because people were getting really frustrated with the umpires. I mean, just, guys like C.B. Buckner and Angel Martinez just making a mockery of calling balls and strikes behind the plate. They were missing, 10, 15, 20 a night. And it was like, what? That was not a ball. That was not a strike. And it was getting to be a joke. Well, now that's over with. We don't have to worry about that anymore. That's been a big one. I think the pitch clock has been huge. I mentioned earlier in the show, I've gone back and I've watched some other games over the decades, over the years on YouTube. Regular season games, postseason games. It's hard for me to sit there and watch those now because of all the downtime that was happening during the game. Pitcher's fault, batter's fault, umpire's fault. I mean, it was just like, how did we sit through these 3.5-hour 9-inning games? These 3-hour and 50-minute 9-inning games. And they weren't all like 13-12 and 10-7. Like two teams that were notoriously famous for ridiculously long games were the Red Sox and the Yankees. Those games, I'm telling you, they felt like they all took 4 hours. And some of them did for 9 innings. And then you would say, well, geez, there had to be, final score 3-2. Huh? What? 2-1. Time of the game, 3 hours, 46 minutes. What am I missing here? I think the pitch clock has been fantastic. I really do. All right, news and weather coming up. Keep it right here, 1310 WDPN.
The latest news and the current Alliance area weather forecast are up next on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 4:30. California Representative Eric Swalwell announced his plans Monday to resign from Congress following calls from lawmakers on both sides of the aisle amid sexual assault and misconduct allegations. Swalwell didn't specify when exactly he intends to step down, instead saying he would work with his staff to ensure it can, quote, serve the needs of the good people of the 14th Congressional District. Swalwell apologized to his family, staff, and constituents. However, he maintained at least some of the allegations were false. Swalwell suspended his bid for governor of California Sunday. Texas Republican Representative Tony Gonzalez said Monday he would retire from Congress. Gonzalez already said he would not seek re-election after admitting to an affair with a staff member who had later died by suicide. House Republican leaders had already called on the three-term representative to not seek re-election, and the House Ethics Committee had initiated an investigation. Under House ethics rules, lawmakers may not engage in a sexual relationship with any employee of the House under their supervision. U.S. existing home sales fell to a 9-month low in March amid tight inventory and growing concerns over the labor market. Home sales dropped 3.6% to a seasonally adjusted annual rate of 3.98 million units, the lowest since June. Economists polled by Reuters had forecast home resales easing to 4.06 million units. Last month's sales probably reflected contracts signed in January and February when mortgage rates were falling. Popular 30-year fixed mortgage rate averaged 6.37% last week, up from 5.98% late last month. A new drug to treat late-stage pancreatic cancer slashes the risk of death by 60% compared with chemotherapy, oncology company Revolution Medicines said yesterday. Pancreatic cancer, one of the deadliest, with a 5-year survival rate of 13% for the more than 67,000 people diagnosed in the U.S. annually. The daily pill has shown promise, with patients surviving a median of 13 months compared with 6.5 months on chemotherapy. Revolution Medicines plans to apply for FDA approval. Former Nebraska Senator Ben Sasse, one of the roughly 500 patients who participated in the trial, after being diagnosed last year and given up to 4 months to live. His tumor has shrunk by roughly 76% by late December. President Trump warned Monday the U.S. could destroy any Iranian vessels approaching its newly announced blockade of the Strait of Hormuz. Trump said Iran's Navy had been largely destroyed, with 158 ships completely obliterated. He added smaller fast attack ships had not been targeted previously because they were not considered a significant threat. The blockade went into effect Monday following negotiations that led to no deal. U.S. Central Command later clarified ships traveling between non-Iranian ports would still be allowed to pass through the strait. The president said 34 vessels passed through on Sunday. Maritime tracking data showed more than 40 commercial vessels passed through the strait since a 2-week ceasefire was announced April 7th. 74 degrees at 4:33 for WDPN News. I'm Clint Marshall.
Meteorologist Mark Johnson has the latest forecast on AM 1310 WDPN.
79 warm degrees for your Tuesday afternoon, a partly sunny sky. There's a random thunderstorm chance here and there, a bit blustery as well. Overnight, a better chance for showers and storms to move in with a low of 64. I am Mark J. Weather from 3 News.
1310 WDPN. Welcome back to the Sam Bourquin Show. You know what that music means. It's time for Sammy's best bet of the day. We missed our mark at 429 again, but hey, that's okay. So we're back. We're ready to go. We hit last night. We gave you the Cardinals and the Guardians over 7.5. That was easy. They put 12 up on the board last night in that Guardians 9-3 win. So we knocked that one out of the park, pun intended. Tonight, I thought about going to the NBA because of a couple of the play-in games. And I'm thinking, okay, Miami-Charlotte, about a 5.5 point spread there for Miami, or for Charlotte. I'm looking at Portland-Phoenix. I was kind of thinking about maybe going with a total there. But you know what? Yeah, we're going to go back to baseball tonight, and we're going to go back to another over-under. And tonight we're going to play the Colorado Rockies and the Houston Astros. The total is at 8.5. Rockies can rake. Astros have been struggling. I look at this as a game at home against the Rockies where maybe the Houston offense kind of has a bust-out night, and I'm thinking tonight might be that night. Honestly, I was expecting this total to be around 9, maybe even 9.5. So when I saw the 8.5, I said, okay, this is what we're going to go with. So tonight, Sammy's best bet, Rockies, Astros over the 8.5. Over the 8.5 tonight, Colorado and Houston in Major League Baseball. That is Sammy's best bet. We do it every Monday through Friday at 4:29 here on AM 1310 WDPN. Okay, we had some breaking news today about Diana Rossini resigning from her position with the Athletic and covering the NFL and all those things. Matter of fact, we broke the news. Ben Axelrod broke the news for us while he was on the show here this afternoon. Had to cut his interview a little bit short, but we did get that. I have obtained via the social media the resignation letter Diana Rossini wrote to Steven Ginsburg, the executive editor of The Athletic. And this is a little bit of a long read, but bear with me. I'm gonna kind of read this verbatim. Now, the one thing I need to do here, there we go. Okay. So this is from Diana Rossini. It says, "Dear Stephen, please accept this letter as my resignation from The Athletic effective immediately. I've come to the decision with deep sadness, but the clarity about what is right for me, my family, and the work I have spent my career building. You and I have already publicly addressed the recent attacks against me. I have nothing to add publicly to what we have said. I have covered the NFL with professionalism and dedication throughout my career, and I stand behind every story I have ever published. When the page 6 item appeared, The Athletic supported me unequivocally, expressed confidence in my work and pride in my journalism. For that, I am grateful. In the days that followed, unfortunately, commentators in various media have engaged in self-feeding speculation that is simply unrumored from the facts. Moreover, the media frenzy is hurtling forward without regard for review process the Athletic is trying to complete. It continues to escalate, fueled by repeated leaks, and I have no interest in submitting to a public inquiry that has already caused far more damage than I'm willing to accept. Again, this is the resignation letter from Diana Rossini to the Athletic. I'll continue. Rather than allowing this to continue, I've decided to step aside now before my current contract expires June 30th. I do so not because I accept the narrative that has been constructed around this episode, but because I refuse to lend it further oxygen or to let it define me or my career. Continues. Over a career spanning more than 15 years in pro sports journalism, NBC, ESPN, and The Athletic, I have built a body of work I am proud of. I have broken stories, earned the trust of sources across the league, and am guided by the highest standards of professional conduct. The record speaks for itself. I remain grateful to The Athletic and for the extraordinary colleagues whom I've worked with, and for the platform that it provided, and for the support you showed me during this difficult time. I wish you nothing but continued success. Sincerely, Diana Rossini. That was the letter that she just penned to her bosses at The Athletic. Now, again, got to tread lightly on this kind of stuff. But I'm going to bring Rainsburg in now. What was the first thing I said to you when I walked back into the studio after the break at the bottom of the hour?
What was the first thing you said to me?
I said, it sounds like she was getting fired.
Yeah.
And they gave her the chance to resign. And that kind of stuff happens all the time. It happens all the time. And I'm not going to pass judgment. I don't know the whole story. But, I think this is a situation here where I don't know if it was going to end any other way.
Well,
it was either going to be she just straight up said, I'm done, or they said, Diana, this is really bad for us. This is bad for you. We're going to have to let you go, but we'll give you the opportunity to resign. That's the only two ways this thing could go.
Yeah, I think so too.
So what happens now moving on, I don't know. It did become a firestorm in the media. You know how the national media is. They get their chops into something like this, and they're not going to let it go.
Oh, this is very juicy.
But that's on the national level. Now, I will ask the question locally, regionally, statewide. Was this a big deal to you?
Oh, no, this is not a big deal.
You know what I mean?
No.
Like, to people out there listening right now, and watching on the Q92 Radio YouTube channel, listening on 1310 WDPN, on Facebook, on X. Was this a big deal to you? Like it was to lots of folks across the national platform, the national media.
I really would love to know why people are mad about this. If they are mad about it, I could see one legitimate reason to be a little peeved about it. And if that is what's happening there, then there's not much journalistic integrity going on. So I could see that how something like this could shake somebody's faith in journalism, because it could be a little seedy, not perceived as above board.
Yeah.
But that should be the only reason this gets on your nerves.
See, there's now that you bring that up, and that's a great point. I wonder, look, and I can't speak on her behavior. I'm not with her. I don't know.
Right, that's not our problem.
All the stuff that goes on in her life 24 hours a day. I know she's married. I know she's got a family. I know Mike Vrabel's married. I know that. We know that. Okay. We also know they're very high-profile people. Her in the media, and he in the National Football League as a head coach. But, I wonder at this point, like there's so many other branches off of this tree that are probably, not probably, definitely more important to be handled under their roof of the homes that they live in.
Exactly.
I mean, is this a big deal if neither one of them are married?
No.
No.
Not at all.
Not at all. Do we think that Diana Rossini has had this kind of behavior, a pattern of it? Was it A, because she just didn't care about her marriage at home? Or B, this was how she got her information, to break it on the national scene and make her look like, whoa, how did you get that information? Or the Athletic saying, Diane, way to go. Keep doing your job. We're getting clicks. I don't know what that motive was.
See, I think
and it's not for me to even judge it because, again, these are people. They have lives. They have personal situations going on. None of us are to render decisions on that, okay? But the national media, again, who just gets their chops into stuff like this, and they start the firestorm. And look, some of this stuff might all be true. Maybe she was messing around and acting certain ways to get information to help her own career advance by getting that hot story, getting the breaking news that others weren't getting. Hey, watch me, listen to me, follow me. I get it first. I get it before anybody else kind of deal. And if she was, and again, I'd say if, in air quotes, if she was doing that, then that's a bad look. And that's not good. That's not good for her. That's not good for the Athletic. It's certainly not good for the competition who, for the most part, trying to get their information the right way, a certain way, just good old-fashioned hard work and investigating. You hear stories about people over the years about how they get their jobs, how they got positions they did. There's a lot of high-profile ones out there. We don't need to go into all that. But as far as like the media itself, I mean, look, what did TMZ do before anybody? Paid people for information, paid people that were hanging out in the alley that knew stuff about stuff that somebody knew about somebody heard that somebody knew. That's how they got their information. And most of the time it turned out to be right, but they paid for it. And now, as crazy as this sounds, in 2026, TMZ is like one of the first places you go. They get the information. They've got more people out there. They've got ways of getting information that other places don't.
They know the right people.
They know the right people, right? It's not about what you know, it's who you know. And if you know the right people, you're going to find out the right stuff. That's been going on for decades, paying for information, paying for photos. That's been going on forever.
As long as journalism has existed.
Yeah. You just didn't know about it. You always wonder, how the hell did they find that out? How did they get information like that? Was it leaked to them? Did they pay for it? Was there some provocative activity going on that, okay, in exchange for that, I'll tell you this. And I'm not going to tell anybody else but you. That kind of stuff has been going on for a long, long time. And is it right? No. Is it a little bit sleazy? Yeah. That's kind of the world we live in. But going back to my original question, I mean, do you even care? Like, now it's over. It's over. But like, I wasn't waking up every day thinking, ooh, I wonder what's going on with Diana Rossini today. I wonder how are things at the Vrabel house. I don't know. It wasn't like the big thing.
Got Richard checking in on YouTube. He says, nobody cares about their spouses. They don't either, implying that Grable and Rossini don't. He says, but sleeping your way to insider scoops, that challenges your integrity as an insider with big air quotes.
Yeah. Oh, boy. See what you did there.
Yeah.
I just, I'm anxious. No, not anxious. I wonder what the next turn is going to be here. Like, is there going to be, because the national media now is going to have a field day, at least for the next 24, 48 hours.
Yeah, definitely.
And then, like everything else, it'll die down. It'll go away. She may even pop back up on the scene someday.
She'll have a
covering
job
sports for
somewhere else in no time.
An outlet or maybe her own company or something. Because there's always so much, because of the world we live in now, and everybody has a phone, and everybody has a camera, and everybody has a computer. We find out gazillions more stuff than we found out about 10, 15, 20, 30 years ago. So now the news cycle will come and go. Like this will be a non-story in about a week. You don't even think about it.
I heard about it. I heard about it on Saturday or Sunday, and I had already forgotten about it until he mentioned the breaking news earlier.
Yeah. And it's kind of crazy to think that was a breaking news item with everything that's going on with sports now and entertainment now, that a coach and a media member, that was a breaking story. That was breaking news of her. It's just crazy to me.
I like Richard. He's asking the real important questions. He says, is it sexist that only women can sleep with NFL coaches for scoops?
I mean, well,
I don't know. Maybe.
I don't think there's any male reporters sleeping with NFL female coaches.
Well, there
aren't any.
Could be the other way around, though. You don't know.
I mean, there are no women head coaches in the NFL.
I know.
So that's not going on. But yeah, this has been going on for decades. People getting information, finding different ways to get the scoop, to get the story. And some will do whatever. Some will go 50% toward that cliff. Some will go all the way over it. It just depends on their nature, their personality, how they want to do things. But the grand scheme, like locally, to me, it's not a big story. Locally, nationally, sure, they'll pound this thing into the ground for a couple of days, and then something else will happen, and they'll move on, and we'll forget about it. But it's crazy. Now, if this would have happened, decades ago, it'd be in the news for 10, 15 days. Because there isn't that next big story, that next big scoop, that next scandal coming 45 minutes later, like it does in the world today. Because there's just so much information going on and getting put out now that didn't decades ago. It's just a completely different world now. Not saying it's better. I'm not saying it's worse, but I'm telling you it is completely different.
I think it's a bit of both. Some ways it's better, and some ways it's way worse.
Yeah. It's like technology. I have warmed to some of the technology, and some of it I could give two flips about it. There's good, there's bad. It's all what works for you. 53 minutes past the hour. We're going to take a break here on the Sam Bourquin Show, AM1310 WDPN, 330-821-1310. You can also text the show at 330-924-7088. The resignation of Diana Rossini, big deal to you? Or you could care less? We'll come back. We'll get back into it. Stay with us.
Do you have trouble getting in and out of the bathtub? Are you afraid you'll slip and fall entering or exiting a tub? Safe Step walk-in tubs can transform your bathtub from an area of concern to a calming refuge. Call them today at 1-800-498-2098 and save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs and showers are proudly made in Tennessee and offer an ultra-low step-in, avoiding that difficult climb over a traditional bathtub wall. They also offer a variety of therapeutic benefits that may help soothe your aching muscles and joints, increasing your mobility, boosting your energy, and improving your sleep. Safe Step walk-in tubs are designed to easily fit your existing tub space and are often installed in as little as one day. Just dial 1-800-498-2098 today to save $1,600 and receive a free shower package. That's 1-800-498-2098 for a free no-obligation consultation and to save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs. Safety never felt so good.
How do you know you're home? At Habitat for Humanity, we believe it's when you find peace, stability, and safety. But 1 in 3 people on Earth woke up today without a good home. Not because of chance, but because of high costs and other very real barriers. A housing crisis this big needs all of us. So let's open the door to opportunity and build a tomorrow where home is possible for everyone. Visit Habitat.org to learn more. Again, that's Habitat.org. Habitat for Humanity. Let's open the door.
Teachers are dynamic leaders, shaping a new generation. They bring a variety of perspectives from diverse backgrounds, innovating how they teach to prepare students for our fast-changing world. Achieving this takes skill and expertise. They're tireless explorers, creatively discovering a universe of solutions, telling stories, experimenting, inspiring, mentoring, connecting cultures, and connecting with each other. Leading by example. Experience the unique joy of helping students thrive. Teaching is a journey that shapes lives. Are you ready to begin? Explore teaching at teach.org, a campaign supported by the U.S. Department of Education, teach.org, and 1 million teachers of color.
Oh, very apropos there. Sunglasses at night. Was that the costume for the private investigator?
Good Lord, I don't even think you think about it more than I do. I just put music in.
I didn't know if that was the direction you were going. Like, oh, that's the first thing I thought of.
I mean, sometimes, yeah, just
the first thing I thought of was the PI creeping around with his camera trying to get photos.
Sitting in a dark room right by the window, cracked open.
Got his sunglasses on. Nobody's going to catch me taking these photos of these people.
He also isn't going to be able to see where he's going because he's wearing them at night.
That's true. That's true. Who sang? Corey Hart?
Yes.
Is that who
yes,
sang
that is
song?
Corey Hart.
I grew tired of this song, I think, after about a month.
Yeah, I don't love it.
I remember when it first came out, and they, you know, how radios they played it to death. And then this was a, if I'm not mistaken, this was a pretty big video for MTV.
Yeah,
back
I think
in the day, if I remember correctly.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, so it got a lot of play on MTV, a lot of play on the radio still. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, it's one of those very 80s videos.
Right. And then, of course, you know, society, what everybody started doing, wearing sunglasses at night, walking around, walking at the mall, going to the movie theater. They had their sunglasses on. I was like, geez.
That's funny because I really didn't think anybody would actually hear that song and be dumb enough to wear sunglasses at night.
Oh, yeah. Millions of people ran to the store to get a pair of Versace sunglasses. Hey, you know what? When the sun goes down, I'm putting these on, and I'm going to go out in public. And that's what they did. That's what they did.
And as long as they weren't driving cars, I'm sure it was fine.
Right.
You don't need to see where you're going anyway.
I mean, and I think a little bit of the video, I think he's actually like driving.
Yeah, that sounds right.
With his sunglasses on.
Sounds right.
Corey Hart, is he a one-hit wonder? Probably.
That was my next question.
Probably. I don't know of another song that he sang. I don't know. Maybe he wrote other songs and people performed them.
All right.
But I'm guessing he was a one-hit wonder.
We have 3 songs by him in the system.
Oh, my God. Okay,
Two of them are Sunglasses at Night.
What's the other one?
The other one is...
I bet I know it.
Never Surrender.
Never Surrender. Yes. So he's a 2-hit wonder. I can hear Never Surrender now in my head. All right, so Corey Hart. Well, I never thought you'd hear the Corey Hart on the show, but you did today.
I think I've used that once or twice.
Yeah.
I don't hate it. It's good. It's good music.
Never Surrender. Music. Now my next question is: this has got to be an '80s thing, right?
What?
The song? No, Sunglasses at Night. Got to be '80s.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Sunglasses at Night is '80s.
Yeah,
like 80. I'm gonna guess 86. Just because that feels right, and then I'll look it up during the break.
Yeah, 86. That'd have been a sophomore in high school. Walking the mean streets of Canton after sundown with my sunglasses. Drawing attention to myself. Yep. 5 o'clock, straight up. News and weather coming up, 1310 WDPN.
News, weather, sports, local information, and music 24 hours a day. This is AM 1310 WDPN Alliance.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franz, and the delicate ceasefire continuing to hold with the U.S. blocking maritime traffic in the Strait of Hormuz. Efforts to hold another round of talks, though, underway could happen by next week. The International Monetary Fund, meantime, warning of a possible global recession.
In its best-case scenario, the IMF's World Economic Outlook expects global growth to fall to 3.1% compared to the 3.4% it had planned to project before the U.S. and Israel launched the war and the Strait of Hormuz was blocked. In its worst-case scenario, the IMF writes disruptions in energy markets could stretch into next year, and the global economy could come close to recession, described as worldwide growth of only 2% and inflation near 6%.
ABC's Sherry Preston. Another woman has come forward with sexual misconduct allegations against Democratic Congressman Eric Swalwell. He denies the claims but resigned from Congress today. Republican Congressman Tony Gonzalez also retiring today after admitting an affair with a former staffer. This is ABC News.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Progressive knows you want to get away, but not like too away. You crave the unknown, but also charcuterie boards with 4 types of cheese. And that's exactly why you bought an RV and bundled it with Progressive, because 24/7 protection is one luxury you'll never have to give up. So go ahead, explore the wilderness, all from the comfort of your zero-gravity camp chair. Switch to Progressive and protect your RV, boat, or motorcycle by bundling with your home or auto insurance. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates of third-party insurers, not available in all states or situations.
Now, the latest Alliance area news from Clint Marshall on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 5:02. Third person has been charged in connection with a May 2021 death of a 71-year-old Canton woman. A Stark County grand jury indicted 66-year-old Randall Talmadge of Canton on involuntary manslaughter and charges of failing to provide for a functionally impaired person. Turned himself in Monday and was booked into the county jail. Investigators say Lola Streetman was found dead, with medics reporting possible signs of neglect. 2 other defendants have also been charged and have pleaded not guilty. The Stark County grand jury will review the case of a North Lawrence man accused of making a pipe bomb. The matter of 56-year-old Timothy Henthorne was bound over Monday following a pretrial hearing in Massillon Municipal Court. Faces charges including illegal manufacture of explosives, inducing panic, and OVI. On April 2nd, the Highway Patrol responded to the 14,000 block of Lincoln Way West in Tuscarawas Township. Henthorne was inside a vehicle, allegedly waving a sword. A search turned up an explosive device, prompting a response from fire crews and the Summit County Bomb Squad. 2 nearby homes were evacuated. The device was removed and no one was injured. Man is dead following a crash in Massillon. The Stark County Coroner's Office identified the victim as 19-year-old Trenton Campbell of Massillon. Crash happened around 6:30 this morning on Finnefrock Road Southwest, just west of Erie Street. Cause of death and details on what caused the wreck have not been released. Social media posts show a vehicle on fire on the bridge over Route 21. Massillon police are investigating. A 76-year-old woman was evaluated after driving her vehicle into a building in Alliance Monday morning. Fire department says it happened just before 7:45 at 1207 West State Street when the car crashed into a physician's office connected to a Cleveland Clinic facility and ended up in an exam room. Officials say the driver was able to exit on her own. It appears she mistook the accelerator for the brake. Canton City Council has approved the annexation of the former Edgefield School site in Plain Township, opening the door for future development. Nearly 3-acre property at 2138th Street Northwest is zoned for residential use. City officials say housing options will be explored, though no plans are final. The move follows complaints from nearby residents about activity and loitering at the site. Canton Police and Fire will now respond to calls there. Canton Police say 3 people were injured during a violent incident Monday night. Around 8:45, officers called to the 1300 block of Woodland Avenue Northwest. 59-year-old Edwin Stewart of Canton accused of pushing a man off a porch, punching another, and pushing his ex-girlfriend to the ground, causing a leg injury. Stewart also allegedly threatened to shoot one of the men. He was arrested and charged with assault and aggravated menacing. Stewart is scheduled for arraignment Tuesday in Canton Municipal Court. Louisville Board of Education dealt with personnel and program issues during its Monday meeting. WDPN's David Schurer reports.
Special recognition was afforded state qualifiers in bowling, indoor track, and wrestling by Superintendent Michelle Schaefer. Resignations, retirements, new hires, supplemental contracts, transfers, and athletic contracts were approved for 59 staff members. The board heard from 3 individuals regarding preschool enrollment of 57 students in 4 classrooms, which will be cut to just 2 classrooms next year, with Superintendent Schaefer promising to monitor those qualifying for the program. Donations totaling $3,098 were gratefully accepted.
Lake Township trustees approved more than $1.3 million in expenses Monday, mostly for fire, insurance, and health care costs. The board also signed a lease with the North Canton Soccer Club for use of township property on Midway Street. Trustees accepted a $5,000 NRA grant to help cover the cost of 20 red dot sites for the police department. They approved participation in state workers' compensation and rock salt purchasing programs, along with the purchase of a 12-foot hook lift dump body from Fallsway Equipment for the road department. Spring cleanup set for June 3rd through the 6th. Massillon City Council has voted to scale back a moratorium on data center development from 180 days to 60. The change approved during a special meeting Monday as officials cited interest from a potential developer. Look at the Massillon Technology and Energy Park, the former Republic Steel site. City leaders say the shorter timeline will allow attorneys to review and update zoning rules without holding up development for too long. Officials add no permits for data centers will be issued during the 60-day period. Portage County communities moving to restrict data center development. In Ravenna, City Council's Planning Committee has advanced 12-month citywide moratorium after a large public turnout at a Friday meeting. Officials say the pause would allow time to study regulations as similar moratoriums are considered or extended in Shalersville and Talmadge. Jury trial remains set for June 2nd in the aggravated murder case against an East Liverpool man accused in a fatal shooting. The status hearing is also scheduled May 8th in Common Pleas Court for 34-year-old Daniel Whitley. He's charged in the May 2025 shooting death of 58-year-old James Powell in East Liverpool. Whitley remains held on a $1 million bond on charges including aggravated murder and tampering with evidence. 74 degrees at 5:07. This is the local edition of WDPN News. I'm Clint Marshall.
This weather is brought to you by Grove Appliance Furniture and Mattress, local, trusted, and family-owned for 90 years, with a huge selection of appliances, furniture, and mattresses to go with unmatched customer service. Partly sunny afternoon skies today, very small chance for a thunder shower here and there, 79 warm degrees, get outside. Overnight, scattered showers and storms moving in with a low of 64. I am Mark J. Weather from 3 News.
Rediscover the comfort of home with Grove Appliance Furniture and Mattress, your hometown spot for comfort, quality, and style. From sleek new appliances that make life easier to furniture that actually fits the way you live, Grove helps you create a space that feels like home. And with hundreds of fabric options, you can make it completely your own. Don't forget about their design center. If you're looking for a complete overhaul, they can help you with all of it, from cabinets and countertops to backsplashes and sleek appliances. Their local team takes time to find out exactly what you need. No pressure, no guessing, just honest advice and real service. And if you're upgrading on a budget, check out Grove's Scratch and Dent Room, where small imperfections mean big savings on top brands. Because when your home feels right, everything else just works. Grove Appliance, Furniture, and Mattress. Hometown comfort. Made simple.
Come see us at Grove, where it always feels like home.
Live from the AM1310 WDPN studio, it's time for live and local sports talk. It's the Sam Bourquin Show.
I'm ready.
Give the show a call at 330-821-1310.
Good call, meatball.
Watch the Sam Bourquin Show on the AM1310 Facebook page, the Q92 YouTube page, and on X. This is the Sam Bourquin Show on AM1310 WDPN.
Down the 1-2. Swung on, hit a ton, deep left field. This ball gone. Angel Martinez has hit his second home run, his first right-handed, and he hit a missile. Bouncing ball in the hole, it gets through into right field. That'll score Ramirez. Here comes Hoskins. He'll score as well, and all the way to third base goes David Fry. The pitch. Swung in and driven to deep left. Away, back and gone. Brian Rocchio with a no doubt about it. 2-run blast to left. Third. That ball's hit well out toward right center field. On the run is Armstrong. It is number 2. A 2-run home run for Kyle Schwarber.
3-2. And it gets away. Here comes Caballero. And the Yankees walk it off. They win this one 11-10.
Nick Keeshan. His first attempt cutting on in. Deep save with her. And the Flyers are going to the playoffs.
And we are back. Welcome. 1310 WDPN, the Sam Bourquin Show. It is a little bit after 5 o'clock on your Tuesday afternoon. Sam Bourquin here. Ryan Rainsberg on the other side of the glass.
Did you also not know what day it was for a second, Sam?
You know what I wanted?
Cool.
Yesterday, I kept referring to this month as May.
Yeah.
And it's only April. I almost said Wednesday.
That's good. That makes me feel so much better.
Yeah. I don't I don't know why I went down that road, but I thought today was Wednesday just for like a half a second, and I caught myself.
Just so the people at home know, it is actually a miracle anytime we do anything on time like we're supposed to, because neither of us either have any idea what day it is, what week it is, what time it is, what month it is. We're just here.
Yeah, we're not very what's the word?
Punctual?
Yes.
Yes.
Not very punctual. And it's not as if we A, don't know, B, not prepared, C, don't have written reminders in front of both of us.
Yep.
And still somehow it just kind of goes through the cracks.
My screen right here says best bet 429. Missed it 2 days in a row.
2 days in a row.
Hopefully we're not going to miss it tomorrow.
I mean, I've got it written down here. I've got a bunch of stuff written down here that I forgot to look at or bring up or what have you. So yeah, here we go. 330-821-1310 is our telephone number. 330-821-1310. We got the Q92 Radio YouTube channel up. You can watch and listen to the show right now. You can also drop your comments in there in the chat, and we will go to those throughout the program. Guardians and the Cardinals tonight, 7:45. That is game 2 of a 3-game series. Guards with a win last night, 9-3. We'll hear from Stephen Vogt coming up here in just a little bit. You know, it was weird. He only spoke to the media. Well, the clip that I found was like 2.5 minutes. And you'd think, after a win, might talk a little bit longer, or maybe that was just the snippet that was taken from, and I got this from MLB. I didn't take this from the Guardians, or I took it right from MLB. So we'll hear from Stephen Vogt coming up. Anyway, Guards Cardinals tonight, game 2 of that 3-game series. at 7:45. We got Joey Cantillo on the mound for Cleveland tonight. He's 1-0, 2.45 earned run average against Michael McGreevy. He is 1-1 at a 2.16 earned run average. Cardinals have lost 3 in a row. The Guards are 6-5 on the road now, 10-7 overall. Let's see here. Guards have the 7th ranked team slugging percentage in the American League at .378. I would not have guessed that. Of course, 30 teams, so they're about half. So 15 teams in each side, that's half. I guess that kind of makes sense. Tomorrow night will be the final game of the series at 7:45, and then Guardians are going to get on to Big Bird and are going to come right back home. And they will start a series against the Baltimore Orioles coming up Thursday at Progressive Field. So you'll have Thursday, Friday, Saturday at 6:10, and then Sunday's game will go at 1:40. So we'll see if the Guards can get her done tonight against the St. Louis Cardinals. I was anxious to check the box score last night because remember I'd mentioned a couple of times, baseball, St. Louis is such a baseball town, such a baseball city. Long-standing tradition with the great players, coaches, fans, managers, the World Series, the playoff runs, the, Ozzie Smith, Whitey Herzog, George Hendrick, Tommy Herr, Adam Wainwright. You think of St. Louis, you think of Jack Buck. You just think of baseball. You think of Busch Stadium. And, boy, recently they have kind of fallen on hard times. And I think the fan base, for the first time in a long time, very angry, very upset with ownership. This is not the same ownership group of years ago, the Bush family, right? They could do no wrong in the city of St. Louis with their baseball team. I mean, it was Busch Stadium, it was Busch Beer, it was the Clydesdales, it was the Cardinals, and it was winning baseball. Things have changed. Things have changed in St. Louis. And it was not uncommon for the Cardinals to sell out 90 to 95% of their home games every year for decades. And you got to remember, going back to the old Busch Stadium, which was completely AstroTurf. And you know how hot and miserable and humid it gets in St. Louis in June, July, August, maybe a little bit into September. I mean, we're talking, you remember they used to show those quick snippets during broadcast? They would show the temperature on the field at Busch Stadium, and you could see the heat rising from the AstroTurf during the game. And you got to remember, this was in the heyday of the Saturday NBC baseball game of the week, right? They played at 2:15 Saturday afternoons, and the Cardinals was one of the teams that was on frequently because they were a winning team. They were a big draw. They were in a big market. So they would be playing games in the middle of the afternoon, and it would be 115, 120, 125 degrees on the field. And the people were just melting in the stands. There's no cover there. There was no shade. You just sat there and you baked for 3.5 hours.
That's hardcore.
Oh, my God. But St. Louis was a great team. They had great teams. And the fans were there. Now, there were some games where it was like so ridiculously hot that, you would see quite a few empty seats. But then they finally started saying, you know what, we're just going to play games at night. But if TV told you that, hey, you're going to be the game of the week, we got to go at 2:15 Eastern, which would be 1:15 there, that's when you had to play. And, I would feel so bad. I would feel so bad for the people in the stands because I knew they were sunburned, they were hot, they were miserable. But they still showed up. My case in point last night, Busch Stadium holds around, I've been there, it holds around 46,000 people. It's 17,000 last night for a St. Louis Cardinals game. And look, it's not like they're 0-10. You know, they're on a little losing streak. They're a couple games under 500. 17,000. That was unheard of years ago in St. Louis. But those fans are fed up. They are sending a message. I never thought I'd see it. I really didn't. I thought St. Louis was one of the, hey, we're going to go come hell or high water. We're going to go if we win 100 games. We're going to go if we lose 100. Doesn't look like they're going to do that anymore. That's crazy. Tons and tons and tons of empty seats last night in St. Louis. So the Guardians are 10-7. They're tied with the Twins right now in the division. East, you got Baltimore, New York, both at 9-7. And in the West, you've got Texas leading the way at 9-7. And the A's still hanging in there with a record of 8-8.
We got a Guardians-related question from Buck on the text line.
Sure.
He wants to know what the Guardians' X factor is in their everyday lineup. Well, you think it is, obviously.
Well, I mean, obviously you want to say Jose Ramirez, but Jose is batting 200 right now. But he's starting to get hot. He's starting to get hot.
I mean, he was our do-everything guy last year, right?
Right. Well,
yeah.
for a long time. Yeah. He's like the only guy much one of the few to actually pay admission to go watch play.
You also have to keep in mind that my record goes back about a year when I started hearing you talk about baseball. So
I mean, you want to say Jose, you guys, you got the Rocchios, you got the Schneemans, you got the Angel Martinez, you got Chase DeLauder, you got the Stephen Kwan, but as far as like an X factor, I mean, it still kind of has to be Jose, even though he's struggling right now. But he'll turn it around. He's going to be close to 285, 290 by the end of the year. He'll have his home runs. He'll have his RBI. He'll have his stolen bases. And, how the Guardians go, how Jose Ramirez goes. And, vice versa. That's from that standpoint. Now, if you want to talk pitching, Gavin Williams, to me, is your ace. Tanner Bibby's not an ace to me. He's just a pretty good pitcher. He's probably a number 2 guy, maybe a number 3 guy. I think Gavin Williams is the ace. And then, of course, Cade Smith, the closer out of the bullpen, when he gets the opportunity, he has done, he's done fairly well for himself. So, but you think about an X factor. Just the names that I ran off there. I mean, it's still Jose. It's still Jose. And, he's batting an even 200 right now. 200. Jose Ramirez. We're 3 games over 500. So that'll work for me. NBA playoffs tonight. The play-in games. Ooh, you can feel the drama from here. Miami takes on Charlotte tonight at 7:30. Hornets are a 5.5-point favorite, total 230.5. Portland will be at Phoenix tonight. That's a 10 o'clock game. Phoenix minus 3.5. The total is 217.5. Sam, where can we watch these games tonight? Where are they? ESPN?
Ooh, I know.
ESPN 2.
I know this
NBA
one.
TV. Where can we watch the NBA playoffs, the play-in tournament? Oh, that would be on Amazon Prime. That's where you can go watch those games. I'm very interested to see what the ratings are going to be the next couple of nights for the NBA play-in tournament with these games exclusively on Amazon Prime. And I'm going to check the Nielsen ratings. I want to see how many people watch these games. And it's not because maybe they're, it's playing, or neither one of these teams are going anywhere, so I'm not going to watch. No, you're not going to watch because you don't know where the hell the game is. That's why you're not going to watch. Or you're going to know where it is, and you're going to say, I got to pay for that. I need to subscribe. I need another app to screw around with. I need to be the streamer. And you're going to say, nope, I'm not doing that either. I think the NBA is kind of hurting themselves here a little bit. I do. It's just spread too much. You've got, you got NBC. You got ABC. You got ESPN. You got ESPN2. Why are we doing this? It's the postseason. You just made us struggle and have to take what the NBA regular season gives us. We had to go through 82 games. We had to go through load management and tanking at an incredible level. And now finally the playoffs are here. And now you're gonna move these games around so that we don't know where they are. And once we find out where they are, we're going to be disgusted and we're not going to watch. That's just not real smart. That's not really good business sense. That's not reading the room. I don't think I'm too off base there. I really don't. 25 minutes past the hour. 330-821-1310 is our telephone number. It is the Sam Bourquin Show on a Tuesday. There, I nailed it. 1310 WDPN.
AWP Safety, North America's leading traffic safety company, wishes the best of luck to Stark County student athletes this fall, and they need you. Join AWP as a protector for steady work and an important job keeping people safe. They offer paid training, certification, referral bonuses, and advancement opportunities. To apply, visit jobs.awpsafety.com. That's jobs.awpsafety.com.
Dad's going to be far side. Good.
What should I do with my dress?
Do the wiggles.
Slate's coming in. What does it feel like when you're down or having a bad day?
It feels sad, like you just don't want to do anything.
All my little emotions in my head is just running crazy. I don't know what to do.
As a teacher or coach, do you ever feel overwhelmed supporting kids' mental health?
I had never experienced players being so down that they can't even participate.
You're just in tears in the huddle. I didn't know what to do.
Teachers need tons of help.
Kids Mental Health Foundation offers educational materials to help guide conversations with our students.
It's so important that we are constantly educating ourselves.
It's the same as the CPR class to me. We're trying to save a life here.
The Kids Mental Health Foundation has free tools and information developed by experts because kids' mental health starts with all of us. Scan the QR code or check out kidsmentalhealthfoundation.org to get started.
Here's the deal. We gotta set ourselves up. See, retirement is the long game. We gotta make moves and make them early. Set up goals. Don't worry about a setback. Just save up and stack up to reach them. Let's put ourselves in the right position. Pre-game to greater things.
Start building your retirement plan at thisispretirement.org. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Kids across America are going to school hungry. Millions of kids every day. Hungry kids get sick more often and can struggle in school. It can be harder for them to focus and learn. But one simple thing can help change all of this for a hungry child in America. Good, healthy food and the energy it brings. With help from caring people across America, No Kid Hungry is providing healthy meals and hope to hungry kids so they can build better futures.
We want to ensure that all of our kids have healthy meals every day.
Thank you.
Thank you for helping feed our kids.
To learn more about ending child hunger in America, go to helpnokidhungry.org today.
It's 5:29. You hear the music. You know what time it is. It is time for On This Day in Sports History. On this day in 1925, WGN became the first radio station to broadcast a regular season Major League Baseball game. The Cubs beat the Pirates that day by the score of 8-2. On this day in 1962, Elgin Baylor of the LA Lakers scored 61 points in Game 5 against the Boston Celtics to set an NBA Finals record. Let's see here. On this day in 1990, Cal Ripken of the Orioles began a streak of 95 errorless games and 431 total chances by a shortstop. On this day in 1999, Jose Canseco became the 28th player to hit 400 career home runs. He did it with the Tampa Bay Rays. And on this day in 2002, who will ever forget? Tiger Woods became the third player to win back-to-back Masters, but it was the shot on 16 that we still talk about today.
Here it comes. Oh, my goodness.
In your life, have you seen anything like that?
What a shot by Tiger Woods on 16 at Augusta. Vern Lundquist with the call there on CBS. And I know you couldn't watch that. You're listening to it. And that's the shot, a miraculous shot. And it got to the cup, and it sat there. And it sat there. And it went in. And you heard the second eruption of the crowd. Oh, my gosh. So it's such fantastic theater. It is hard for me to even fathom that was in 2002. It was 24 years ago. It feels like it was yesterday. News and weather next.
Here's the latest news on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 5:30. President Trump said Monday the right people in Iran have reached out seeking to make a deal after talks failed over the weekend, insisting Tehran will never be allowed to obtain a nuclear weapon. Speaking outside the White House following the end of roughly 21 hours of Pakistan-mediated negotiations, the president said Tehran had re-engaged despite failing to reach an agreement. Trump said, "We've been called by the other side. They'd like to make a deal very badly." Trump made clear the talks collapsed over Iran's refusal to meet Washington's core demand that it abandon its nuclear ambitions and relinquish its enriched material. Trump also expressed confidence Tehran would ultimately concede. Iran's military leadership warned Monday no port of the Persian Gulf or Gulf of Oman would remain secure if the U.S. proceeds with a naval blockade targeting Iranian shipping. President Trump announced the Navy would begin blockading maritime traffic linked to Iran. He said U.S. forces would seek and interdict every vessel in international waters that has paid a toll to Iran and would prevent ships from entering or leaving the Strait of Hormuz. U.S. Central Command later clarified the blockade would apply specifically to vessels entering or exiting Iranian ports, not to broader commercial traffic moving through the straits. The Justice Department released a report today revealing how the Biden administration targeted pro-life activists with prosecutions, often at the behest of pro-abortion organizations. The nearly 900-page report constitutes a review of approximately 700,000 internal DOJ records showing the Biden administration weaponizing the Freedom of Access to Clinic Entrances Act through biased enforcement, harsher sentencing, aggressive arrest tactics, and collaborating with pro-abortion groups for surveillance. The FACE Act, quote, prohibits the use or threat of force and physical obstruction that injures, intimidates, or interferes with a person seeking to obtain or provide reproductive health services or to exercise the First Amendment right of religious freedom at a place of religious worship. The act was written to equally protect abortion clinics, pro-life pregnancy resource centers, and churches. However, data indicate 97% of FACE Act cases have been against pro-life advocates. Pope Leo XIV arrived in Algeria yesterday, marking the first ever papal visit to the 99% Sunni Muslim nation. His 11-day African tour will also include Angola, Cameroon, and Equatorial Guinea, which have larger Catholic populations. The visit underscores the continent's growing importance to the church. Africa is Catholicism's fastest growing region, accounting for over half the 15.8 million people baptized into the church in 2023. About 1 in 5 Catholics now live on the continent. During his visit, the Pope is expected to address authoritarian rule, polygamy, and tensions with Islam, among other issues. En route to Algeria, the Pope reiterated calls for peace after President Trump said he caters to the radical left amid disagreements over the Iran war. 74 degrees at 5:33 for WDPN News. I'm Clint Marshall.
Now, the Alliance Aerial Weather Forecast from Mark Johnson on AM 1310 WDPN.
A cloud-sun mix through your Tuesday afternoon, maybe an isolated thunder shower in 1 or 2 spots. It's going to be warm and blustery, 79 degrees. Overnight, some scattered rain and thunderstorms moving in with lows about 64. I am Mark J. Weather from 3 News.
Welcome back to the show, 1310 WDPN. Going to be with you up until 6 o'clock tonight. Phone lines are open, 330-821-1310, 330-821-1310. Text line open as well at 330-924-7088. And, of course, the Q92 Radio YouTube channel. You can always watch the show there, listen to the show there live, and you can drop your comments in there as well. And we certainly do appreciate that. If you did not hear earlier today, little high school basketball news in the area. GlenOak has found their new coach pending board approval. Former East Canton coach Ryan McGonigal will take over for the Golden Eagle basketball program. So congratulations to Ryan and best of luck at GlenOak. And after that board approval happens, we'll be sure to get Coach on the show and talk about his new gig as the coach of the GlenOak Golden Eagles, taking over for Rick Hairston, who stepped away, I guess, last week while I was gone. Didn't even know about it until I got back home from Texas. I mean, I knew it was coming, obviously, but I didn't know that it actually happened last week. But so congratulations, Ryan McGonigal. He will be named the new head basketball coach at GlenOak High School, pending board approval. And we'll see how that goes there for Coach McGonigal. We talked about the play-in games tonight. I was looking up on the NBA power rankings, and because the regular season has come to an end, they did a final power rankings for all of the 30 teams. Oklahoma City came in at number 1 with a record of 64-18. They got a grade A. And then it just simply says the path to consecutive regular season and finals MVP awards on a back-to-back champion is laid out for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and it is laid out for the Thunder to go wire to wire once again. I don't see anybody beating OKC. I just don't see it. Now, look, I know it's hard to repeat. But this team, there are nights where they don't even break a sweat, and they're up 20. And sometimes you need to take that with a grain of salt with the NBA because of, guys not trying, teams tanking, people resting, people on load management. But there were some games, and you get a handful of games each year that are, big games in the NBA, regular season. And I tuned into most of those with Oklahoma City. And they just badgered teams. They never, they suffocated them. Teams couldn't even get in position to get a shot off. And then SGA would come down, boom, 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 10 points in 2.5 minutes. I don't think anybody's going to beat them. I don't. San Antonio Spurs, number 2 in the NBA power rankings. They had finished up with a mark of 62-20. Victor Wembanyama. If he's healthy, I like the Spurs to give the Thunder a battle in the Western Conference Finals. I don't think they'll beat them. But what a job for San Antonio. You know, they went through a lot of, you know, with Coach Popovich. Had to step away, had some health issues. He's still it doesn't look like he's doing great. But San Antonio kind of down the wrong hill. But boy, oh boy, when they get their draft picks, they come up smelling like a rose. Remember when they drafted David Robinson, and then they would draft Tim Duncan years later, and now they get Victor Wembanyama, and they get so much good young talent. I think their coaching staff is fantastic. They get a grade A as well, but they're number 2 in the power rankings. Number 3, Boston Celtics finished up with a record of 56-26. They got a grade of A. It says no one overachieved this year like the Celtics. They lost Jason Tatum to an Achilles injury before losing Drew Holiday, Kristaps Porzingis, Al Horford, Luke Cornett to the luxury tax. But they got Jaylen Brown, they got Peyton Pritchard, they got Derek White. They're right there, folks. Boston Celtics, 3rd ranking in the power rankings. Denver Nuggets are ranked 4. They get a grade B. They finished up at 54-28. The Joker became the first player ever to lead the league in assists and rebounds per game. Oh, and he added in 28 points a night. The team around him was not always complete. Nuggets still won 54 games. Now, if healthy, Murray, Jokic, Gordon, Cam Johnson, and Kristen Braun have enough, I think, to maybe get to the Western Conference Finals. I mean, I just gave you the top 4, and 3 of them are in the West. Denver, San Antonio, and Oklahoma City. Look out. Look out. Pistons come in ranked number 5. They finished the regular season at 60-22. I'm not buying Detroit. And I'm not saying that because of we will probably face them in the second round of the playoffs. I'm not saying that because JB Bickerstaff has had a lot of stuff to say about the Cavaliers organization since being shown the door. I just can't buy Detroit without Cade Cunningham. I just can't. Now, they won 60 games. I don't think they're ready for the postseason. I think they'll win their first round. And then I think the Cavs will beat them in the second round. Did I just make a prediction? I think I did. But they're the number 5th team in the rankings for the NBA. Minnesota Timberwolves got the 6th mark at 48-33. They got a grade B. This is a crazy stat. Anthony Edwards, Julius Randle, Rudy Gobert, Jaden McDaniels, and Devontae DiVincenzo played 710 minutes together. No other lineup across the NBA played more than 550 as a unit. I'm telling the West, holy cow. Now, I don't see them getting to the Western Conference Finals, but they're going to make life miserable for some, the Minnesota Timberwolves. Number 7, the New York Knicks. These are the latest NBA power rankings. The Knicks are 53-29, getting ready for the postseason. They got a grade C. 53-29 for them. Probably a little bit of a disappointment. I think their fans, I think some of the national talking heads thought that this New York team would probably win 57, 58 games maybe. Maybe be a real serious contender for the title. I don't think. I don't think so. Like, put it this way, they don't scare me. If they would happen to go up against the Cavaliers, normally, be, oh God, the Knicks, we're done. There's something with this New York Knicks team that doesn't scare me. The Lakers, the number 8th ranked team in the NBA power rankings, 53-29. Hey, they figured it out. J.J. Redick figured it out. Now, we don't know what's going to go on with Luka. He's got an injury. I don't know if he's going to be ready for the round 2. I don't know. Austin Reeves also hurting. But then you got LeBron. And you got Marcus Smart. And you got DeAndre Ayton. Not the youngest group. Not the youngest group right there. But this team surprised me a little bit. I think they surprised a lot of people in the NBA. I thought the Lakers would be like a 44-win team. I did. I think they overachieved. 53-29. Will they get to the Western Conference Finals? Doubtful. But if Luka and Austin Reeves get healthy, miraculously get healthy, the Lakers could give a lot of teams a lot of fits. They really, really could. And some of you are probably saying, Sam, where are the Cleveland Cavaliers? These are the latest NBA power rankings. You've gone through 8 teams already. Where are the Cavs? You don't have to wait any longer. They are the number 9. They get a grade C. They finished 52-30. I'm going to read this verbatim. Things weren't going so great for the Cavaliers, who made the Garland for Harden swap in hopes it would shake things up, and it did. The Cavaliers looked like contenders for a spell, if only to return to what they looked like before, which is an easy second-round playoff out. And then in parentheses, they have, which is the mark of a James Harden team. Bigger changes are on the horizon, if that's the case. How much longer can Donovan Mitchell wait for Evan Mobley's development to stop stagnating? Ooh, I don't know if I like that last sentence there. But they're number 9 in the power rankings, the Cavaliers. And they finished up the regular season 52-30. They know their opponent. They will play the Toronto Raptors beginning Saturday afternoon at 1 in Cleveland. Best of 7, Cavs have the home court. Tip off at 1 p.m. Yeah, that's on Amazon Prime too. How far can the Cavs go? I mean, Mitchell, Harden, Allen, Mobley, Strus, Tyson. Is that enough? Is that enough to get the Cavs to the Eastern Conference Finals? That starting 5 and a couple of those pieces, coming off the bench. I still think maybe I overvalued these guys. I don't know. I still have high hopes. I still think that Keon Ellis and Dennis Schroeder are going to play a big part for this team. I really, really do. I really do. I believe it. So with our starting 5, and then you got Keon and Schroeder, in the playoffs, you're only going to go about 8 deep anyway. Maybe 9, but it's no more than that. But then the question is, okay, so if you get by the Raptors, here's what I know. This is what I know. If the Cavaliers screw around here, and this series goes 7 games, then forget about them. Forget about them. Even if they win this series, but it has to go 7, they're not going anywhere. Now, if you come out and you step on their throat and you win in 4, or you get a gentleman's sweep in 5, and depending on how you play, how you look on the road, how some of your bench players play on the road away from home, maybe that gives me a little bounce to think, okay, well, maybe we get past the second round. But if you screw around and you let Toronto hang in there and rough you up a little bit and make you sweat and make you go 7 games, the Cavs are in trouble. To me, it's that simple. To me, it's that simple. Is the talent there? Yeah, I think so. Is the desire, the will, the passion, the hunger there? I will say this, I hope so. But are they ready for the bright, bright lights? Jared Allen? Is Kenny Atkinson ready to make moves on the fly in the postseason that will enable this team to get over that hump and at least get to the Eastern Conference Finals? That I don't know. But I do know this, if you let Toronto make things really interesting for you and they spread you out and they make you play 7 games, try to tire you out a little bit, then you're going to be in trouble. Now, here's the other thing. I talked about being tired out. The amount of load management these guys have had and the missed games because of injury these guys have had, and the way the NBA playoffs are so spread out, I don't want to hear anything about anybody being tired.
I 100% agree with that.
I don't want to hear the word fatigue. I don't want to hear the word tired. I don't want to hear worn out. Save that, because that's baloney. I don't want to hear anybody. I don't want to hear any team in the NBA talk about being tired in the postseason. The tanking got a lot of news. The load management got a lot of news. Guys just not being available got a lot of news. And I tried not to, overtake my joy of watching NBA basketball, because I do really enjoy it, and I love the Cavs. Been a Cavs fan since I was old enough to know what a Cavalier was. But, man, this year to me is like, I get so sick and tired of watching guys on the bench just sitting there in street clothes, game after game after game.
I really agree with you, because I've really been hoping all year that the reason that it feels like the Cavs have been doing that a lot is because they want to make sure that everybody is 100% and not injured for the postseason.
Mm-hmm.
And
well, here you are.
I hope it's a tactic. And I hope it works out.
Because if you're not damn rested up by now,
we're SOL anyway.
Then there's a problem.
Yeah, there's no point.
But I don't want to hear anything about, oh my God, he had to play 47 minutes. It's your job. It's your job. There are no back-to-backs. There are no 3 games in 4 nights. There's none of that. There's no excuse. I don't want to hear one word about people being tired on this team or anybody else in the NBA. You had your joyride through 82 games. Now it's time to play. Now it's time to earn those tens of millions of dollars. It's the playoffs. This is what we watch for. We don't watch for meaningless Tuesday night games in January. We watch for the postseason. And guys just sitting out and just milking it. That doesn't fly anymore. You go lace up your sneakers, you get yourself a little Gatorade, and you go out and you play hard. You play at both ends of the floor. No nights off.
We got our very own, Christian Bigglesworth chiming in on
Christian!
Facebook. What's up, dude? He says, I've become so much less interested in the NBA, and I hate that I am. Maybe I'm in my get off my lawn era in life, but the way the regular season has become meaningless, the way star players can literally miss games just because they don't feel like playing or the team is afraid they might get injured, the amount of teams that tank year after year, it makes it hard for me to care like I used to growing up when the NBA was so much more competitive.
Yeah.
NBA contracts are guaranteed whether you get hurt or not.
And I know Christian's not get off my lawn guy. I know how old Christian is.
Yeah.
I know his fandom. I know he's not that guy. But if that's coming from him, what do you think other people are saying about the NBA? I mean, that's a microcosm of the narrative of the people, what they think about the NBA. They're tired of the tanking. They're tired of the load management. They're tired of no defense. They're tired of guys just not giving effort or hustling back down the floor.
They're tired of players standing around only shooting threes and blowing them.
Oh my gosh. I will say this, and I don't want to get on a soapbox here, but it's hard to watch some nights. It is. Like the 3-point used to be a thing. The 3-point shot. Oh, he shot a 3. Oh my God, that's so far away. It's all it is.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Clint in our news department who commented about that and completely broke my brain. I couldn't unsee it from that point on.
It's a 3-point shooting contest most of the night. Now, look, it'll change in the playoffs a little bit. It'll be a little bit more of a half-court game. You won't see fast breaks with a 4-on-1 and somebody, jacking up a 35-footer. Well, you might. But at this time of the year, the scores are lower. The points are supposed to be harder to come by. Guys are actually playing defense a little bit, taking a charge, helping to double team. It's harder to get the ball inbounds in crunch time than it is during the regular season. But it's hard to watch sometime. It's a tough product. Like I can tell you, and the college basketball is kind of going that way a little bit with just a 3-point bonanza. But the college game, to me, is more entertaining. It's not as skilled. It's not as high flying. But the product, to me, has been a little bit better. Even though we're talking about, 350 or so Division I college basketball programs, and some are really, really bad. Some are really, really good. Some have more money than others. But the NBA, it's turned into a get the ball across half court, chuck a 3.
I had seen somebody else also complaining about players who just run up and try to get fouled so they can bang out a few easy free throws too.
Shea Gilgeous-Alexander.
Okay, that was SGA.
The free throw merchant.
I did not want to misspeak on the wrong player.
Yeah. How about Rainsburg just dropping knowledge over there on the NBA? Good thing you got Prime, huh? It's been a little tough to watch. And I was talking about, jack up the 3 guy. You know what I really hate? The guy that just jacked up a 3 and missed it. The long rebound comes back to him. What does he do? He shoots it again. Misses it again. Long rebound. Somebody gets it on the other side of the floor. What do?
Put up a useless 3 that doesn't
jack
go anywhere.
Up another 3. I'm like, what are we doing? But nobody gets in trouble. Nobody gets benched. Nobody gets reprimanded. It's just part of the game.
It's high risk, high reward basketball is what it is.
It's insane. It's absolutely insane. So hopefully that'll change here in the playoffs. Now, look, I'll be the guy. Let's just say the Cavaliers, knock off the Raptors in 5. And the game, the series clincher, let's just say they make like 22 threes. Yeah, keep shooting those threes, boys. Here we go. Fire, 3, go. That'll be me if they win. But just, on the whole, too much of that. There's just too much of that. Like the mid-range jump shot has disappeared. There's no such thing. It's either a slam dunk or a 3-pointer. There's like no in between. And I don't know how you fix it. What do you move the 3-point line back another 10 feet? I mean, what do you do? How do you change what we have?
We'll move that 3-point line back to half court, and then nobody will be shooting threes anymore.
I mean, well, then somebody
will figure out how to do it.
Somebody will say, well, you should give them 5 points then if they make it. And then guess what will happen? Everybody will start chucking from half court. Hey, we're down 6. We're right in it. Get a 5, and we're right there.
Get the half court shot, and then have 3 people rush the paint.
It reminds me of the UFL with all their stupid rules. Can't wait to see that league fold. I know, such a bitter person. But yeah, play-in games tonight on Prime if you need them. Rainsburg's going to watch them. I told him during the break, I said, you know what would really be funny is if you fire up the Amazon Prime tonight and you watch these play-in games. And I think he's going to.
I'm going to watch one or some of both, or I don't know.
Yeah, well, you'll be up late. There's a game at 7 and there's a game at 10.
Oh, they're not at the same time. Okay.
No.
Well, then I'll probably catch some of the 7 o'clock ones.
Real quick before we go, just got the lineup tonight for the Guardians. Leading off will be Stephen Kwan. Chase DeLauder will be the DH. Hosey will be at third, batting third. First baseman Kyle Manzardo. George Valera back in right field tonight. Angel Martinez in left. Second baseman Daniel Schneemann. Batting eighth will be catcher Bo Naylor. He better start hitting the ball. Shortstop Brian Rocchio will bat ninth, and Joey Cantillo on the mound for the Guards tonight. Cleveland, St. Louis tonight, 7:45. We'll be sure to talk about it tomorrow. All right. That was fun today. Had an interview that got cut short because of breaking news. A lot of stuff going on today, but it was fun. Thanks to Ryan Rainsburg. Great job as always. Thanks to all of you for listening and commenting and texting and emailing and calling and dropping comments in the YouTube chat. We really appreciate that. And we will do it all over again tomorrow at 3 right here on AM 1310 WDPN. Be careful of the weather out there. You never know what's going to pop up. Be safe, and don't forget, go Cavs, go Browns, go Bucks, go Guards. Have a great night, everybody, and we will see you tomorrow.